Welcome back to Second and Short. It is June 30th, 2023. We are almost into July. It's almost 4th of July. Got a nice weekend. All that stuff. I've got Luke back with me this week. Luke, how you doing?
Fantastic. I hope you're doing well. I hope the people are doing well. Man, this is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, and hoping that I don't have more internet problems because that was fucking stressful last
Yeah,
or on Wednesday because me and Collins even like we started recording late, so I was already tired, and then that all happened. It was just a perfect shitstorm, but nonetheless, we're here to have fun, and that's exactly what we're doing. So, of course, as always, MLB recap, MLB weekend preview. Then we're going to talk about some like kind of turnarounds for MLB players and teams this season, kind of like a most improved kind of thing. And then a decent amount of NFL news, kind of making up for what we missed talking about on Wednesday. Got some transfer news, of course, and then we're going to kind of catch everybody up, including ourselves, on what's going on in the MLS. We're going to start talking about it throughout this summer now that all the European leagues are over, and try and pay a little more attention to the MLS because I feel like we have not given it any attention,
yeah. It's been neglected.
certainly. But and we'll see. Maybe at some point this season we're going to realize why it's been neglected and then neglected again. We'll see.
Hey, it's all just trial and error, man.
Yeah, but we'll round it all out with top three, bottom three, red things. Obviously, on Wednesday, we were supposed to do blue things, but I'm going to push that one back until the next time me and Colin record, and we'll do that. So, Luke, you ready to talk about the MLB? I'll let you take the stage for this first one.
Yeah, because you already know what I got to talk about.
Yeah.
History was made yesterday. The Yankees, just basically farming XP on the shit athletics, and that's literally what Domingo Herman did. Wow, what a fucking game. 11 to fucking zip win. First perfect game since 2012 and King Felix did it on August 15th. Um damn, it was insane. He threw 99 pitches, 72 of them were strikes. And I remember the next part that I'm about to say really surprised me, but then I remember that it's Domingo Herman and he loves the curveball, Grayson. 51 curveballs were pitched and 30 fastballs were pitched. So he was just lighting them up with the curveball. Like shit was insane.
Yeah, and that's something that is rather uncharacteristic of players that are going to go deep into games because a lot of them are going to throw fastball sinker primarily and just kind of keep going. But when you throw breaking balls and you're on that day, it is so effective.
Yeah, super effective. And I listened to last episode, and you and Colin, y'all were a little disrespectful to Giancarlo Stanton. Rightfully so. I'm not that delusional.
Okay.
Rightfully
I
so.
thought you were about to
But I think
defend him deeply.
you can't defend him.
Okay.
But I think he watched the podcast. I guess Giancarlo Stanton's one of our listeners because he actually had a phenomenal game yesterday. It feels like his first one in a while. I think he had a home run, two RBI, and I think like a 115-mile-an-hour single. I mean, he was decent.
Yeah. Like I'm totally fine with them playing fine, but they've been playing pretty bad recently.
Yeah, big time.
But let me get a little deeper with this no hitter, perfect game. It's the first no hitter of the season, making it the 18th straight season with a no hitter. Luke already said his 24th perfect game in MLB history. He also said first perfect game since Felix Hernandez in 2012. That was 3,969 days ago, which is the longest gap since the 4,755 day span between
Whoa.
Catfish Hunter's perfect game in 1968 and Len Barker's perfect game in 1981, which means that if you only watched baseball in the 70s, you have never seen a perfect game, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
that's true.
But with last night's result, the Yankees now hold the record for team perfect games with 4. They previously shared that with the White Sox at 3. The Yankees have broken the record for the most runs scored in a perfect game in MLB history with 11. The previous record, I believe, was 10. And then Domingo Herman, who I really don't understand how he's the guy that threw this perfect game. He had a 8.5 ERA this month.
Oh, dude, he is easily one of the most frustrating players on this entire team, but I mean, hey, I'll take it.
Yeah. He said that I think he told Yes Network that his uncle had passed away 2 days ago, and said that he cried a lot in the clubhouse yesterday, and that this game was for him. So makes it even more amazing that this all happened.
100%. Was that all you had? Because I had a little trivia question for you about Yankee perfect games.
Yeah, go ahead and ask.
I hope you haven't seen it yet, but there are four perfect games in Yankees history.
Correct.
Who are the four people
Oh,
besides Domingo Herman?
oh man.
I already gave you one.
Yeah, obviously I know Domingo Herman. I
I'll give you a big hint.
might have no shot.
Two of them were in back-to-back seasons, one in '98 and one in '99.
Ooh. I can't even think of fucking Yankees pitchers right now. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea who any of them are. I can't think of it.
Okay. Don Larson did it in the 1956 World Series,
Gotcha.
which is why I thought you might know that because it was a World Series perfect game. The other
Yeah.
two, 1998 was David Wells. Can you give me 1999? Because you know this guy.
I'm
I know you
sure
know who
I'm
this
sure
is.
I know who it is. I'm not gonna be able to think of it.
Girardi caught it, if that helps at all. He was the catcher.
It doesn't help.
David Cohn.
Ah, yes, I do
So
know who
Don
that is.
Larson, David Wells, David Cohn, and now Domingo Herman joins that list. So Domingo Herman, he's kind of an outlier in this list. I'm not gonna lie.
Definitely. But I have a fun fact about all four of those no hitters as well.
Oh, let's hear it.
Is that every time that a Yankees pitcher has pitched a perfect game, the Yankees won the World Series that season.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. I think that streak
uh,
ends here.
I have to be real. I think you're right.
All right. Anything else about this perfect game?
No, that was really it.
All right. I got to talk about Shohei Ohtani.
Let's do it.
Oh my God. Tuesday night, 6.1 innings pitched, only 4 hits, 1 earned run, 10 strikeouts. As a batter, 3 for 3, 2 home runs, 1 single, and a walk.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he now leads the majors in homers with 28, leads the majors in triples with 5, slugging percentage with a 659, OPS with a 1048, and as a pitcher, he leads the majors in hits per 9 with 5.7. This guy is unbelievable. He's now batting 407 in games that he pitches this season.
Oh, so he's better if he bats and pitches.
Yeah,
Basically,
it's crazy.
he's like top 5 in AL strikeouts too. I think.
Yeah, he is
It's
absolutely
ridiculous.
insane. He's the first player in MLB history to have 25 home runs, 5 triples, and 10 stolen bases before July 1st. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
And he's currently on pace for 12.2 B-WAR. That would be the highest in a single season since 1985, when Doc Gooden posted a 13.3. But if we're looking at just AL history, you'd have to go back to 1967, when Carl Yastrzemski posted a 12.4 B-WAR season.
Wow. Interesting.
It's absolutely insane. And the fact that he's in a contract year and he's putting these numbers up, like the number could be anything. Kyle Glazer of Baseball America tweeted out saying that last week he kind of posed the question of 11 years, 550 for Shohei in free agency to a senior front office official. That guy's response was, "You're too low."
I as crazy it may sound, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
550 is way too low for him.
Oh yeah, me and Colin talked about it on the last episode. Like his value, according to the projections as a pitcher, he's already worth like a couple of years and 300 million, and as a hitter, he's worth like 500 million. Like it's absolutely insane the numbers that we might see this offseason, because it's certainly going to be the highest ever. I have no doubt in my mind.
Oh, of course. I would go as far as to say, Grayson, He deserves to make, if you're just looking at like contract worth, not like per year, but how much they're actually making, he literally deserves to be, I would say, at the minimum, $200 million more than whoever second place is.
Yeah,
At the
like
minimum.
what I would say is because like typically you're not going to sign a pitcher to like a 10-year deal.
Yeah.
But with his value as a hitter, you can go a little bit longer. So I think the right ballpark is like 8 years for him.
Yeah.
And honestly, 8 years, like it could be 8 years, 550 million instead of
Yeah.
11.
I could see that. 8 years would put him at 36 years old.
Yeah.
He could still be an effective batter
Oh,
at that
definitely.
point in his career, I think.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
absolutely insane what he's been doing.
His salary right now is 5.5 million.
I know.
I just saw that.
Yeah, the Angels are robbing him actively.
Unbelievable. Um uh let's see, where do I want to go? I have a couple stuff. Should I give you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Where does Freddie Freeman rank among first basemen all time?
All time?
How good actually is Freddie Freeman in your opinion?
I think he's one of the best, but first base is a loaded position in history.
It is, but Freddie Freeman's pretty ridiculous
All right,
on both sides
I'm
of the
just
ball.
gonna look up like a list of like Hall of Fame first basemen, just so I can refresh my brain.
Oh, you're good.
Let's see. Oh, this is a strong list. I'd
Oh, man.
say, as of right now, or are you saying as of right now, or by the time his career's over?
Let's go by the time his career's
Okay,
over.
by the time his career's over, I think he could be a top 10 or top 5.
Wow.
Because yes, there's guys in here like when you look super long time ago, you have guys like Cap Anson, who was absolutely fantastic. Jimmy Fox, Lou Gehrig, Harmon Killebrew in the '80s, Willie McCovey, and the guys like Fred McGriff, who just got in, fantastic. I think Freddie's probably already had a better career than a decent amount of guys that are in the Hall of Fame that played first base.
Yeah.
But like I'm at the moment, I'm probably not gonna put him over Frank Thomas, Stan Musial, Eddie Murray, Harmon Killebrew, Lou Gehrig, Jimmy Fox, or Bagwell.
I like it. I honestly didn't even know who a lot of those guys were.
Really?
Yeah. I knew crap. There was somebody that you said in
Frank
there that
Thomas,
I knew.
I'd assume.
No, I didn't know who Frank Thomas
No
was.
way you don't know who Frank Thomas is.
I've never heard of Frank
The
Thomas.
Big Hurt?
When did he play?
Like he got inducted in 2014, so I think he played like 90s and 2000s. White Sox
From
primarily.
1990 to 2008.
Pretty
He's
close.
actually from Columbus, Georgia.
Yeah. Guy's like bona fide legend.
Wow. Yeah, he looks like it. Damn, 6'5".
You might recognize him from his Nugenics commercials.
Nugenics?
Yeah, the testosterone booster.
No, I do not.
Okay, fair enough. You obviously
Man, I
haven't
wanna
watched ESPN late enough at night.
I did back in the day. Damn, his career batting average is 301 and his
Yeah.
OPS was 974.
Yeah,
Damn.
you gotta study up, brother.
I do. 6'5", 275. Damn.
I'm pretty sure he's on the like sometimes he's in that group on Fox with like Big Poppy and A-Rod.
Maybe I've seen him there. I
Yeah.
just didn't know who he was. But anyway, off of Frank Thomas now. Stone Injury Saga. Here we go, guys.
Let's hear
It's I love this series, man. This is easily one of my favorite things to talk about. So he had a minor league outing on June 25th, so a couple days ago. He went 4 innings, no runs, only gave up 1 hit, and then 4 Ks. So he was absolutely fantastic. His fastball velocity, in my opinion, is still a little bit down from what it normally is, but I mean, seems to be pretty effective. We're thinking one more rehab start for him, and then I've been seeing a lot of estimates of he could rejoin with the Yankees next homestand on July 7th versus the Cubs. So it's actually looking finally pretty good for Carlos Rodon.
Yeah, we're looking about a week.
Yeah, about a week. And then one more injury news. So Aaron Judge actually resumed baseball activities. Not too sure what that means, but I know that he played some catch for the first time in Oakland. So that's nice.
Yeah, baseball activities just like guys get out on the field, maybe hit some BP, throw a ball.
Gotcha. So literally just baseball activities is what
Yeah,
it
yeah, it is exactly what it sounds like.
is. Okay. Nice.
But it is that time of the year where Andrew McCutchen takes to Twitter to
Oh
announce
no.
to the world furries.
Yes.
Andrew McCutchen dropped the furries tweet.
Oh no, it's over. The best player in MLB history is about to come out, and it's
Yeah,
Andrew fucking McCutchen during the furry week in
yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Let's see who they playing this weekend. I believe it's they're playing the Padres right now, and they're losing 3-0. So it hasn't started yet.
But it's coming.
Yeah, he's 1 for 1.
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
We'll see, but yeah, watch out for Andrew McCutchen this weekend against the Brewers.
Man,
I'm
I always
telling you.
forget that he's a fucking MVP.
Yeah,
Andrew McCutchen at one point.
one of
That always
the
blows my
best
mind.
players I've ever watched play the game.
Really?
Genuinely, like watching him in his prime, it was unbelievable. Watch like him and Starling Marte in that outfield. Oh my god.
Yeah. I love Kutch so much.
Yeah. If you live in a gambling state and you're of age to gamble, go ahead and just drop anytime home run hitter Andrew McCutchen for all 3 games this weekend.
Yeah. I would have to agree with Grayson there, and I'm not really too familiar with the betting. I just know how good this guy is during Furry Week. So, I got another question for you, Grayson.
Yep.
This was one that I saw on MLB.com. It was kind of popular, and I
Okay.
thought that with your opinions that I've heard you talk about, like with Joe Musgrove and Yu Darvish, should the Padres trade for a starter?
Yeah. Especially if you watched Nick Martinez the other day.
Brutal.
0 innings pitched. It's a tough one to come by. I think he gave up 4 runs. Yeah, they should, certainly. I don't really know who, because like there's and I was going to get into this later, but I'll go ahead and say it. Max Scherzer said that he's willing to waive his no trade clause.
Wow.
So Max
That bad
Scherzer could
with the
be
Mets.
like, I don't know, because like right now you have Yu Darvish, Joe Musgrove, Blake Snell. Michael Wacha has been very good. But Seth Lugo, he's just being Seth Lugo. And I don't know. I feel like they could use starting pitching. And I think they could use bullpen help as well. I just talked about Nick Martinez. He has not been good at all in the bullpen. Steven Wilson has been on and off the injured list. Same with Tom Cosgrove. And they just don't have like the guys outside of Josh Hader in that bullpen that make me feel okay if one of these starters does have a bad game.
Yeah, it's kind of I don't know. It's weird for the Padres because maybe not so much their bullpen outside of Josh Hader, but like this rotation just on paper looks pretty disgusting. Like Blake Snell at one point was crazy with he played for Tampa, right?
Yeah, AL, Cy
Yeah,
Young.
I was about to say, and then Joe Musgrove, he's a solid option there that I feel like could only get better. And then you just brought up Michael Wacha. He's been brilliant. And then Yu Darvish is, kind of 50-50, but I mean, he's still like a good player to have on your team. It's just
Yeah.
super unfortunate that, this rotation is actually what's holding back, all that money they got tied up at the plate.
Yeah, I don't
with some
know
of their
if
batters.
it's really the rotation that's holding him up though.
You don't think so?
I feel like we could ask for a lot more production from the guys on the field.
Yeah, fair.
Like Manny Machado needs to be better. 100% needs to just play better. 253 batting average, 9 home runs. His OPS is 704 right now. That's not Manny Machado.
Yeah, not at all.
And Xander Bogaerts seems to be a waste of money because Ha-Seong Kim has just been better this whole season.
Yep.
Like, the only
Yeah.
guys that you're getting anything out of are the two guys I expected from, which is Fernando Tatis and Juan Soto.
Yeah, it's been very unfortunate, but I mean, you and I feel like kind of predicted it. You know, when we were
Yeah.
going over the MLB, they brought in all this talent and it's super entertaining, you know, I'm sure to go to Padres games and, you know, watch them play mediocre. But like on paper it just looks sick. Like it's a dream team, but they just can't. I mean, they'll never be better than the Dodgers at
Yeah.
this rate.
I think the
It's
problem, going back to your question, the problem with them trying to trade for a starting pitcher is, are they even going to be in contention? Because
I
right
don't think
now
so.
they're 10.5 games back. So they're 7.5 games back on the Dodgers. They're 6 games below 500. Like, they've got some ground to cover.
Big time. Big time ground.
So I don't even know if they'll be in a position to be buyers come the trade deadline.
Yeah. They probably just need to hang on and ride it out. Dang,
Yeah.
they're fourth in that division too.
All right. Well, let me talk about some starting pitching that, if you look at the box score, has not been successful. But if you look at the final score, it has. The Reds won their 6th consecutive game, started by Luke Weaver last night, either last night or Tuesday. And he's given up in that stretch 27 runs in 26.2 innings and a 9.11 ERA.
Wow.
But they've won 6 straight games with him as the starter.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it really is. Like, this is just such a testament to that offense.
It really is. And the offense is young too, besides Votto.
Yeah. But
Incredible, man.
Yeah, truly incredible stuff. Another fun fact, Bo Naylor hit his first career home run yesterday against the Royals. This makes him the third Bo in MLB history to hit his first big league home run at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City.
Dang, that's
Yeah.
a place for bows, I guess.
Yeah, Bo Jackson in 1986, Bo Bichette in 2019, and now Bo Naylor in 2023.
I like it. I quickly want to go back to the Reds though,
Yeah.
because I had a question for you. So right now, and this is just insane looking at this on my laptop screen. They're first in their division in the NL Central.
Yeah.
They have a half game lead on the Brewers, so not by a lot, but I mean the Reds are there, Grayson. So my question for you is, what is the ceiling for them this season?
I think the ceiling is winning the division series. I think that's their ceiling. I don't think they can get into a World Series. I think they could get to a National League Championship Series, maybe.
Yeah,
It'd be
yeah,
really tough with the starting pitching that they have. But this is a team that certainly could be in a buying situation. So maybe they do pick up some starters because, yeah, Hunter Green has been good, certainly not great. Graham Ashcraft has been kind of here and there since his very good beginning to the season. Andrew Abbott has been fantastic. Now 4-0, like absolutely insane. And then like Ben Lively has been decent, but he's been hurt. And then we just talked about Luke Weaver, how he gives up a ton of runs and they just luckily win. That's not going to get by once it comes playoff time. Like that, you're not going to get by with that kind of stuff.
I
So
like it.
picking up a starting pitcher or even two, honestly, would be a huge help to this team because they have a decent bullpen. Guys like Lucas Sims and that bullpen has been very good. Buck Farmer's been decent. Alexis Diaz has been a great closer. So you have the talent in the bullpen to where ideally they don't really need to pick up any hit thing on the hitting side because they even have backups that work. But if you've got the capital to pick up at least one starting pitcher, one relief pitcher.
Yeah.
I would take it.
Okay, like that. Dude, did you see Matt Burling's slide versus the Rangers?
Yes.
Dude, that was better than Trey Turner's little
Yeah.
bullshit that he did and went
Yeah.
viral for. That was Matt Burling was nasty.
Yeah, that was sick. Let me talk about the Mets real quick.
Oh,
Okay,
please.
first, just something funny. Eduardo Escobar got his passed his citizenship test the other day, so now he is a U.S. citizen. But when his teammates were helping him prepare for the citizenship test, he got asked who the first president was, and his answer was Ron Washington,
Oh no.
third base coach for the Braves. If you weren't aware, not the first president.
I did not know that was or third baseman
Yeah,
coach for the Braves.
yes.
Oh wow.
So the Braves just stay in Mets players' heads. But
Yeah,
we got to talk
apparently.
about Steve Cohen's press conference. Good old Uncle Steve, the owner of the Mets, the richest owner in the MLB, says that if the Mets don't improve by August 1st, which is the trade deadline, they won't be looking to add pieces and instead would be looking to explore the possibility of trading away players. That obviously brings me to Max Scherzer being willing to waive his no trade clause. The problem with Max Scherzer doing that is who has the payroll to pick that up while still being in a winning situation? Well, when you look at the standings, teams like the Reds have the money to pick up a guy like that. Looking at the AL, the Rangers might. I'm not too sure, but it's hard. When a guy's on a contract like that, it's hard to trade him away. And it would have to be a big-time move because you got to make the money work. But I think my ideal landing spot for him, Baltimore.
Oh, that would just blow cock.
It looks the best on paper. Either
It would be
Baltimore,
ridiculous.
or Arizona.
Out there with Gallon.
Like
Oh man.
it's the two good teams that need starting pitching and have the money.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. What would actually be even crazier is if Scherzer could somehow link up with Verlander. Like, could you imagine that pair on the same team? That couldn't go wrong, could it? So I listen, Yankees and Braves fans, we're gonna take our fucking jabs at
Yeah.
you.
No, it's
Like
good.
it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I don't really. I'm going to be honest with you, Grayson. I'm sure he's been good, and I know I don't really think he started the season well, but he obviously is now. I don't really know how I feel about Scherzer anymore. Like I feel like the decline has hit him way harder than it should have this season.
Kind of. Yeah. He spent a little bit of time on the IL, but still, a 7-2 record is not bad. But he's definitely giving up more runs. The whip is up, so he's letting more people on base. The strikeouts are down. It is kind of a guy taking a step back at 38 years old isn't unexpected.
Yeah, and on top of I guess the team success and how much he makes, it's just not a good situation.
Yeah, but also I think the Mets are kind of at fault for paying a guy like that much money at that
Oh
age.
yeah,
Like that's
yeah,
kind of crazy. But like when you look at his numbers, it's his worst whip since 2020 and his worst ERA since 2011. Like the fact that he held it up that long is phenomenal. A 3-time Cy Young winner. He's been a finalist for Cy Young, what, 6 times? Just top 3? Like,
it's insane.
he is absolutely ridiculous.
Wow.
And I just think, yeah, you gave him the money, which is fine. But they have to expect that he's going to get hurt. He's going to decline. Things like that are going to happen. It's just how this works. It's how the sport works. You can't go that long and be at the top of your game.
Oh, of course. Yeah, no, you're right. But going back to the main topic though, I like the Reds. Orioles is just now we're in unfair territory.
Yeah.
He would just be he'd be too good in my division.
Well, I'd be fine with him out
Uh,
of mine.
yeah, no, I'm sure you would, even though y'all just beat up on him anyway. But
Yeah, it's true.
I got another question for you, Grayson. It's my last one.
Yep.
So you and Colin talked about it on the last podcast, and it was hilarious hearing y'all go back and forth, and how you really put emphasis on the fact that this man doesn't even play in a real baseball league anymore. That was hilarious. That got a good laugh out of me. But obviously, I'm talking about Alex Manoah,
Alec.
whatever you want to call him. I still don't know his first name because he really just isn't that relevant anymore. Um, is he finished, Grayson? I mean, I'm not saying like can he ever go back playing to how he was. I'm saying like does he even really have a career as a decent MLB starter at this point?
Yes. The answer is yes. He has the opportunity. The thing is that this is a contract year. And typically, historically, you want to play good in a contract year because, let me tell you what, he's probably not going to be a Blue Jay next year. But there are teams that are still going to get him just solely based off of 2022. Even his rookie year in 2021, he had a good rookie year, 9-2, 3.22 ERA. He was very good. This year though, horrible. What a horrible year to decline. Your third season in the MLB, you're still on your rookie contract. Like truly the worst timing for this thing to happen. But the guy's still an all-star like last year, and he was third in Cy Young for the AL. He had MVP votes.
Wow.
So it's hard to say that the guy's not just like his career is over because we've seen the good parts, and I think that's enough for teams to look at him.
I still can't believe he's only 25.
Yeah.
And I have this question to you because I liked how you brought up that it's a contract year for him because I was actually unfamiliar with that. That makes it all just the more funnier. Do you think with him actually being up for contract this year, it actually helps his career out a little bit more going through this rough part? Because
Yes, I do.
he probably, like you said, won't be a Blue Jay next season, which will mean he'll just get a fresh start somewhere else. Yeah, he may not, get the Shohei money that he should have in this contract year being 25 and already being as good as he was his past seasons, but still like he's going to get a fresh start somewhere. So maybe on top of that talent that's just covered up right now with the yips, maybe he'll be in a New Jersey next year and just be lighting them up again. Who knows?
Yeah, I think this being a contract year actually works out better for him because, he's not going to get as much money as he wants, but he's going to be making more than $746,000 that he's making now yearly.
Of course.
And I think the best thing that he has going for him is that he's not under contract right now because if he were, let's say he still had 2-3 years left on his deal and the Blue Jays don't want to give him a chance, like he doesn't turn it around for him, then when that comes up, then teams are going to be like, well, he's had 3 years to prove him wrong. And he didn't.
Yeah.
So why would we want him? But now it's like, okay, there's still something there. And somebody's got to get it out of him.
Yeah. Do you think the Blue Jays would be stupid not to re-sign him?
No. No, I don't.
You just think his time in Toronto is what's up?
Yeah, I think he's lost his opportunity. Yes, last year was phenomenal. But the way that he has played this year and the way it seems to be going is just not working. And if something's not working for a team that they've won like 45 games, like 44 games, then they got to go because you're still in a winning situation.
Of course. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like it.
If you're in a winning situation, you got to get rid of all the losers. And Alek Manoah is a loser this year.
I like it. That was my last thing for MLB
Okay, I
recap.
got a few more things to go.
Let's do
So to continue on the Steve Cohen thing, he said that he's been clear from day one that they're still looking for a president of baseball operations. I'll gladly do it, Steve. I'll be your president of baseball operations. I hate the Mets with every fiber of my being, but I'll be the president of baseball ops. We can negotiate money, but for now, I'm gonna assume that I'm getting this job.
it. I like it.
Also, big news: the Rays no longer possess the best record in baseball by winning percentage.
It's shit on.
For a few hours yesterday, the Braves had a higher winning percentage than the Rays, but the Rays won last night. So now the Rays have a chance to take it back with a win tonight because Atlanta has an off day, but I'm taking this as a Braves W.
As you should.
And I'm just going to start spewing off Braves W's because I got a few of them here. All 12 Braves with at least 75 plate appearances this season that are on the active roster have a WRC plus above 100, so above league average. That's weighted runs created.
Okay.
Matt Olson has hit 8 home runs in the past 12 games, putting him at 26 home runs. He now leads the National League in homers and RBIs, and his 26 home runs are the most for a Brave before July since Andres Galarraga with 27 in 1998. And
wow.
Ronald Acuna now sits at 19 home runs and 36 stolen bases. He leads the National League in stolen bases, and he is now on pace for 38 home runs and 73 stolen bases.
Wow.
Yeah. Like
73.
Unbelievable stuff.
And he can throw 104 flat-footed without even like moving his body.
Yeah. He's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I love Acuna.
And now let's talk about some losses because we talked about the Braves wins. Now we got to talk about the Twins losses. They're 23-30 since May 1st. That's the third worst record in the American League after the Royals and A's. During that period, the Twins pitching staff has allowed the league's third fewest runs per game, but the Twins lineup has scored the league's second fewest runs per game.
Damn.
They went 0 for 23 with runners in scoring position during this series with the Braves.
That's a good way to lose games.
Sure is. There's not many other good ways to lose a game.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than just going 0 for 23 in general. Not just with running in scoring position is a great way to lose. Just getting no hit for a full series would be a pretty tough way to win, but it's been done. It's pretty fucking hard to lose 3 games. To win 3 games or 1 game when you go over 23 of the runners in scoring position.
Yes.
Let's continue. The Minnesota Twins have the highest team OPS in the American League Central at 708. Sounds great, right? That puts them 21st out of 30 MLB teams in OPS.
And they're first in that division?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And we'll just kind of close the coffin here. The Twins have now lost an MLB high 12 games when allowing 3 runs or fewer.
Dang.
Yeah, their offense fucking sucks. Like, it's astronomically bad. Because, like, we all know the A's and the Royals are bad. The Twins, whoa. Because, like, early in the season, they had some great things going for them.
Yes.
Now, they've lost 3 in a row, obviously getting swept by the Braves. They're 40-42, which doesn't seem that bad. But when you look at the numbers, the best batting average by a qualified hitter in their lineup is Carlos Correa, who's batting .212.
Dang, dude.
Their home run leader is Byron Buxton with 13.
Tied with Joey Gallo.
Yeah. Their RBI leader, also Carlos Correa, who has 37 RBIs.
You serious?
Yeah.
Damn.
Like, it's they are astronomically bad. Their best on base percentage is Byron Buxton, who has a below 300 on base percentage at 297.
Oh man. Bummer.
Yeah. And like when you're looking at average, so when it comes to like the guys that are actually qualified hitters, Carlos Correa is 212, and then Trevor Larnach 211, Byron Buxton 203, Max Kepler 198, Joey Gallo 189. Like it is absolutely crazy
Yeah, I was
how
just about to
bad
say
they
it.
are.
It looks like Joey Gallo's back to regular self now. Of
Yeah, but
course,
the thing
I
is,
mean, he was hurt.
he's hitting bombs, 13 home runs.
Yeah, I mean that's true. That's
But
true.
yeah, they just can't hit the ball. I don't know what their issue is.
I I don't know, man. It's just that division.
True.
That's what
But
I've just drawn it up
I will
as.
say the pitching's been great. Joe Ryan has pitched very good. Sonny Gray's got a sub-3 ERA. Pablo Lopez has 120 strikeouts. Johan Duran's got 11 saves. Like, very good stuff on the pitching side. But
I
that
was gonna
fucking
say,
offense just can't help them.
no, not at all. I just love seeing Sonny Gray do well. It's a cool pitcher to watch.
Yeah. But I'll move on to the Dodgers, who also fucking suck.
Let's hear it.
They're 10-12 in June. They, before I think that was a couple days ago, but this will be their first non-winning regular season month since May 2018.
Hey, that's like 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
crazy to ever do that in general.
I was gonna say, yeah.
But their team should not be this bad.
No.
Like, obviously, Freddie Freeman's playing great baseball. Mookie Betts has been pretty good. JD Martinez has been pretty good, to their standards. James Outman has cooled off since the start of the season. David Peralta playing pretty average as he does. But he's kind of been in and out of the lineup with Jason Hayward and him kind of platooning. Miguel Rojas, playing good defense, not good offense. That's just what he does. Max Muncy hits bombs and strikes out a lot. And Miguel Vargas has been decent. Definitely not good. More on the bad side, I'll be honest. But I just don't get it. Because, like, Will Smith has been very good. And like I said, Will Smith, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, even Max Muncy with the home runs have been pretty good. And I just don't understand what's holding them back because the rotation's been great. Julio Urias has been good. Clayton Kershaw has been fantastic. His June was fantastic. 5 games, 33 innings pitched, a 1.09 ERA, 4 earned runs, 30 strikeouts, and 8 walks in the month of June.
Wow.
And I'm going to say this stat, and it's going to sound bad at first. Clayton Kershaw's whip of 1.049 is his worst since 2010. And he leads the National League in whip.
What?
Yeah.
Dang, dude.
Yeah, Clayton Kershaw is easily one of the best pitchers in the history of the game.
He's a freak of nature, dude.
Yeah. Okay, so like I said, worst since 2010, which was his 3rd season in the league. He's leading the National League right now in whip. And the year after 2010 was his first All-Star appearance and his first Cy Young, and he was 12th in MVP voting, and he was a Gold Glove winner. In 2011, 2012, All-Star, 2nd in Cy Young, 16th in MVP voting. 2013, All-Star, Cy Young, MVP was 7th. 2014, All-Star, Cy Young, and MVP. Okay. And he's just still good. Like, still
Yeah.
so goddamn good.
Yeah.
I just
Phenomenal.
don't get it. I really don't. Don't understand how a guy can be that good. Like that 2010 was 13 years ago.
Yeah.
And he still posted a sub 3 ERA in that year.
It's incredible.
Yeah, Clayton Kershaw is an anomaly.
It really is. I don't get it either because he's not showing any signs of slowing down, even at the ripe age of 35.
Yeah, like he's had his moments, his years and stuff where people were like, "Oh, like here's the decline." Like 2021 was not a good year. 10-8, 3.55 ERA. But a 3.55 ERA really isn't that bad.
Not at
It's the
all.
second worst of his career behind his rookie season, 3.55. But a 3.55 ERA is as good as some Hall of Famers.
Yeah, it is.
Like his career ERA is a 2.48.
That's his career ERA.
Yeah. Think about that. If you have an amalgamation of Clayton Kershaw's from every single season, you put it all together. This is my best way to talk about averages across a player's career.
Go ahead.
You combine all of his skills, what he has done good or bad in every single year of his career. He's still going to go on the mound, pitch 9 innings, and only give up 2 or 3 runs.
Yeah.
Like
That's
that's insane.
yeah. Exactly. That's a pretty good way to help your baseball team win games.
Yeah, and his career WHIP 1.003.
It's just silly
But
numbers.
yeah, and I think that to kind of get back to what I was talking about, how his WHIP was the worst of his career, or worst since 2010, and it leads the National League. I think that the new rule changes are certainly boosting the amount of players that are getting walks and hits in an inning.
Oh yeah.
Because it just seems like there's always, like, just about everybody seems to be getting, like, 1, 2 players on every inning.
Yeah. Yeah, with the new rules, it does seem that way.
Yeah. So just wanted to bring that up. But Luke, you have anything else before we get to the weekend preview?
The Red Sox are below 500. Fuck them.
Yep.
They've been
Fair enough.
terrible. I love
have.
watching their downfall.
They've been bad.
Yes.
Is that all?
We got some good series here.
Yeah, we do. We've got a
Got
couple.
them now. Let me hang on. There was one that I saw earlier. I'm gonna have to fucking find it again.
I'm going to go ahead and start then. Marlins, Braves.
Yes.
So good. It's going to be
I'm
so good.
Yeah. Arizona and the Angels will play.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty nice.
Yeah, Arizona has had a tough week, man. But they're killing it. They're what? They finish a 4-game series against the Rays today. Yeah. And then they have to turn around, and on Friday they have to face the Angels in a 3-game series.
Yeah.
That's
No, you're
brutal.
right. I mean, I know it's not really a weekend thing, but right now, Greinke and Bieber are playing against each other. I mean, the Royals and the Guardians both kind of are trash, but I mean, still a pretty good starting pitcher matchup there.
Definitely. Yeah, right now we've also got Padres Pirates going on. It's a battle of trying to get back on track, and somehow neither of them will. But
battle to see how well Andrew McCutchen can play.
yeah. We've also got Astros Rangers this weekend. That one's big because the Rangers only have 6 games right now, and the Astros. So the Astros could certainly pull it closer if they can win the series, maybe sweep. But I was watching the Astros actually the last couple of nights. For some reason, they've just been on, and I decided to watch them. I love Mauricio Dubon. That guy is awesome. He makes fantastic plays in the infield. because right now he's playing second base because Jose Altuve is out. He's batting 285, 307 on base, 407 slugging. Like, he's not a hard hitter, but he's a pretty good hitter, and his fielding is so goddamn good.
Yeah. No,
So,
I like that guy a lot
yeah,
too.
shout out Mauricio Dubon.
Kind of looking at this, I think Miami and Atlanta is like by far your best series. I'm
Yeah,
seeing nothing else here that jumps out at me.
yeah, I really do think it. And like, me and Colin talked in depth about how good the Marlins have been. Like, they are so goddamn good. Like, we're on a 5-game win streak. Miami's on a 4. Like, they're doing a great job of at least keeping this division close because Philadelphia's 10.5 games out. They're in third place. And then the Mets 17 games back, Washington 21. Those two teams are irrelevant.
Yeah, no, they are.
But like, Miami being 6.5 games back on Atlanta, especially with a 3-game series this weekend, they could bring it close, theoretically. Do I think they will? Probably not. But they are very good. And Jorge Soler has been so goddamn good. And he's just still flying under the radar. And I don't get how. He's got 21 home runs and 46 RBIs. He's batting 247, which is pretty good for a hitter like Jorge Soler. Like, he's putting up fantastic numbers. And it just seems like nobody cares.
I guess it's I guess the elephant in the room would be Arias and how well he's
Yeah,
played.
of
But you're
course.
exactly right. Soler, seems so much better than even with like when he was with the Braves. Like this season, he has just added so much more to his offensive game, and he's just like you said, been flying under the radar.
Yeah, an OPS plus at 135, one of the
Yeah,
highest of his career. Um, you know, it's pretty hard to match the stats of his 2019 season because he hit 48 home runs.
yeah,
But he's been very good. He's been a huge part of the run production on this team, and I'm so happy to see him succeeding.
yeah. It is super super cool, and I'm sure especially for you, being kind of an Atlanta hero, a little Atlanta hero.
Yeah,
So, it is nice.
it is nice to see him play well. Like, he's getting paid $15 million to hit a baseball really fucking hard.
What more could you want?
Exactly. But yeah, I do want to talk a little more about Astros Rangers though, because this is some of the best pitching right now between these two teams. You've got Framber Valdez, who people just have been ignoring for some reason. He leads that team in ERA, wins, and strikeouts.
Wow.
Yeah, 2.49 ERA. He's got 7 wins and he's got 110 strikeouts. He just came in ESPN's pitcher power rankings number 2, right behind Shane McClanahan and ahead of Zach Gallen.
That's pretty good company to be among.
Yeah, but then on the other side in Texas, yeah, John Gray is pitching on Friday, but Dane Dunning has been fantastic. He had, I believe, like an 8.2 innings pitched outing just the other day. He's got a 2.69 ERA. Nathan Eovaldi has been fantastic. A career resurgence for him. 9 wins, 2.82 ERA, 101 strikeouts. He leads that team in wins and strikeouts. I love watching both of these teams, and I'm certainly going to be tuning in this weekend.
For sure. Evaldi's so sick, man. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, don't you wish he was good for the Yankees?
He had some flashes. I wouldn't
Yeah,
say he was all bad, but
no,
yeah, nothing like what he is now, though.
yeah, but yeah, and then of course we know exactly what comes with Diamondbacks Angels.
Of course.
You get Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte, Christian Walker on the same field as Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. It's going to be a fun one to watch.
Always. Always, always.
But I think that's going to do it for the weekend preview. Let's get into just some light MLB conversation. Don't need to go, too long on this. We're just going to talk some, we've reached this midseason point. We talked about kind of our top 3 awards leaders at the midseason point on Wednesday's episode with Colin. But let's talk some most improved. Let's start with some teams that are the most improved over last year. Who's your first one?
Definitely the Reds.
Yep.
It's just it's so cool to see this team taken over by such young and entertaining talent offensively, and their pitching could be better, but it's still not that bad. They're still able to get wins. It's just insane to see them just decently above 500, and it's cool to see that stadium get packed out because there always has been a fan base there, just not really recently. And they're just not only most improved, but just one of the most entertaining right now. It's been great.
Yeah, last season by around this point, um, we'll go by this exact date. They had lost to the Chicago Cubs 8-3, and they were 26-48. Now
Yeah,
they're
I mean,
48-38. So looking kind of closer to that total. How many games is that? 48 or 43 and 38. That's like what, 81 games, so exactly halfway through the season.
yep.
Um 81 games for them last year. That was, sorry, I got to do math in my head. This is
You're good.
not going well. July 6th, they were 28-53,
Wow.
and they were already 43-38 this season. Like last year they ended the season at 62-100.
Phew.
And they might get 62 wins by the end of July.
They definitely could.
Yeah.
There's one for you. Other
Uh,
team that
I had the Reds, of course. I'm going to go with the Miami Marlins. They've been
I like it.
so damn good. We just got done talking about them, but like last year, they were really bad.
Yeah, last year, this time last year, I already have the screen pulled up. They were 34-40.
Yeah.
We're 5-5 in their last 10, so kind of just flatlining here. They're 12 games behind the Mets.
Yeah, they finished the season 69-93 last year. Just brutal, man. Like, and they got a little bit hot there at the end of the year, but it just seems like this year something happened, man. They didn't really pick up a bunch of players either, and like their NL Cy Young isn't the best pitcher in this rotation right now.
No, not at all.
But Yuri Perez, who they've brought up this year, is so fucking good. So
Very.
it just seems like obviously the addition of Luis Ariz has been a huge part of this team. But Jorge Soler getting back on track. Jazz Chisholm hasn't quite had the season we were hoping for, but there's just guys on this team that are playing great baseball. When you look at batting average wise, guys like Joey Wendell playing great. He's got a 283. Brian De La Cruz 282. A lot of players on this team just coming out there and doing their job.
Yeah. I got two more teams actually,
Yeah.
and it's more of the obvious ones. The Rangers were 36-38 a year ago today.
Wow.
They are, I mean, lighting it up, and they don't even need Jacob DeGrom. I wish they had Jacob DeGrom, but they don't even need Jacob DeGrom, and it's and they just look so fucking good. And then the Orioles were 21 games back this time last year, obviously because the Yankees went on that total fluke, ridiculous start to last season. The Orioles were 35-42. Now they're in second place and ahead of the Yankees. So the Rangers and the Orioles, Grayson, have just been phenomenal this year compared to last season.
Yeah, but talk about the Diamondbacks. 35 and
Yes.
42 a year ago. Like that is such a crazy turnaround to now be 48 and 33.
Yeah.
And riding off the back of the likely NL Rookie of the Year and possibly the NL Cy Young, who really had a down year last year. Like, this is a team that, yes, people started to realize it right before the season started that this team was going to be good. I was certainly one of them that was riding with them. But when you looked at last year, it shouldn't have been this way. Like, this team hasn't changed all that much over this last year. They ended last season 74 and 88. And now, they're on pace to win, close to 100 games.
It's incredible. And like you said, just off of the back of just a lot of like unlikely people,
Yeah.
with NL Rookie of the Year Corbin Carroll, who it's just been phenomenal. And then, like you said, Zach Gallen, who had the offseason last season, now he's just back in the best he ever really has ever been in his entire career. So yeah, this season, man, I was happy when you put the most improved players and teams on the prep sheet for this one, because like there's really a lot of content
Yeah.
here. There has been a lot of things that have changed this season compared to last season. Of course, like with the rules and everything, but like even just teams, it's just
Yeah.
been insane.
Yeah. And I've got, are you through your teams?
Yeah, I have a couple
Okay.
players.
Yeah. I've got 4 players here, but I'm going to go ahead and get it started. Orioles starting pitcher, Tyler Wells.
Oh
Holy
man,
shit, has he been good? And the telling stat here, last season he had a 1.14 whip. This season, he's got a .89 whip.
damn.
And it's only his 3rd season in the MLB. He leads the entire league in whip with that .85 or .89. He's got a 3.21 ERA. Last season, he had a 4.25. The guy has been so good. He's almost matched his innings pitched last season, and he started 23 games last year. He's only started 15 this season, and he's about 2 outings away from tying his innings pitched. He's given up the home run a little bit more. He had 19 home runs, but he's reduced the walks. He has upped the strikeouts significantly.
I was
Starting
about
at
to say way more
yeah,
strikeouts.
way more strikeouts. ERA plus at 130. And what's crazy is he's upped the strikeouts, but he's still a little bit of a ground ball pitcher. He's a FIP at 4.57. He's allowing his defense to do some work for him, but he's also getting it done himself.
Yeah, no, that was a good one there. I hope I'm not taking one of yours, but I just had to talk about this guy, Orlando Arcia.
Fantastic.
Wow.
I left him off, but yeah,
Uh,
fantastic.
I mean, I don't really have much of the stats like you do, but I think the biggest one for me, OPS from like a 733, I think is what it was last season, all the way up to an 830 this season. He's just been absolutely incredible, and like all the walk-off hits like that he was doing like a couple months ago, and it's just I think filling in Dansby's shoes is kind of an understatement here. Orlando Arcia has been exactly what the Braves need him to be.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been phenomenal. My next guy, it's kind of hard to pick one player from this Rays team, but Luke Raley
Right?
is having a great year. In 2022, he had a slugging of 279 and an OPS of 584. In 2023, he has a slugging of 555 and an OPS of 901.
Wow.
Yeah, and I believe last year was his first season in the league. Or no, his second year in the league. First season with Tampa, and he really didn't get much playing time. Only played in 22 games last year. But the difference in OPS is crazy. Like his OPS plus last year was a 73, with the MLB average being 100. This season, his OPS plus is a 149.
Yeah, he also has 8 stolen bases this year. He's
Yeah.
never had a stolen base until this season.
Yeah.
Not too sure where that's come from.
Yeah, it's crazy. And he's got 12 bombs this year. In his first 2 seasons, he only had 3.
Damn.
So, yeah,
Good.
shout out Luke Raley. He's been fantastic.
My next guy, dang it really hurts to talk about this guy, but you just got to celebrate him. That's really what it comes down to. Aroldis Chapman, 2022 with the Yankees, he finished with a 4.46 ERA, and he was losing velocity on that signature lefty fastball. In 2023, he has a 2.54 ERA, fastball looks as sharp as it ever has, really. But Grayson, too bad he plays on the Royals, so everything that I just mentioned is for nothing.
Yeah, that's a great point.
But wow, just like seeing, I follow a lot of pitcher accounts, where it shows like nasty pitches and shit. He's been on a lot of them, and it's just crazy to see, what he's doing in 2023. I thought he was finished, dude. I really did.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of having like a small resurgence, I'd say.
Yeah,
Cuz it's not for anything.
yeah, not at all.
But he's doing a good job. Um let's talk about this guy who just appears to have been kind of a late bloomer now because he started off as a bust. That was the story for Mickey Moniak, former number 1 overall pick by the Philadelphia Phillies in 2016, and just never really got it going. He spent, 2.5 years in Philly, just really never had it. And then now, gets traded in 2022 to Los Angeles and played pretty bad, honestly. But 2023 has been a whole nother monster. And he hasn't played all that many games because he's been kind of platooning in the outfield. But in his first 3 seasons in the MLB, he accumulated 6 barrels, which I think we've gone over this. Barrels, particular launch angle and exit velocity on a hit. And just this season, he already has 11.
Ow.
And though he isn't playing every day, his OPS has gone from a 509 last year to a 993 this season.
Dang, why is he not playing every day?
It's kind of a matchup thing. Apparently, he is not too good against lefty pitching.
Wow, is he a lefty batter?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. But when he's in against the righties, he is killing it. And, just looking at his batting ratios, yes, he's striking out quite a bit, 30.8%, but young, kind of just trying to hit hard right now. It's going to happen. He needs to walk more, needs to strike out less. That's the story for everybody. But when you're looking at hard hit percentage, 36.2%, that is amazing. That means that 36.2% of the balls that he hits in play have an exit velocity of 95% or more.
Wow.
95 miles per hour or more. He's
pretty
hitting
good.
40.6% fly balls, so he's getting the launch angle up. Ground ball to fly ball ratio, only a 0.3 ground balls for every fly ball he hits. And he's spreading out the hits pretty well between center and right field. He's pulling the ball 37.7% of the time. He's hitting it up center 50.7% of the time. That's absolutely phenomenal. And then he's hitting it oppo 11.6, but that happens. So overall, the guy has been fantastic. This is his first season outside of 2021 where he has a positive winning probability added for his team. And in prior years, he had a negative 1.1 last year. In 2021, he had his negative 0.2, and in his rookie year, a 0.1. This season, already at a 0.9, which is big for a guy who hasn't played that many games.
Wow. I like it.
So yeah, Mickey Moniak. Get him in the game.
Teach him how to bat against lefty pitchers.
Yeah.
That Aroldis and Arcia were my only 2 people. I mean, I thought about throwing in Matt Chapman.
Yeah, he slowed down though.
But he has slowed down. But I mean, all of his stats are almost better than what they were last season, though.
Yeah, it's true. I'm realizing this now. I unintentionally went all very young players, but I'll finish it out with Marlins relief pitcher Andrew Nardi. This kid had quite the step up. So last season was his rookie year. Pitched in 13 games. Really just came half of his games. He just came in and when they were either getting blown out or winning by a ton and just finished the game. But he had a 9.82 ERA last year in 13 games.
Terrible.
Yes, awful. And That was in 34.2, or sorry, um, what? Yes. So that was in 14.2 innings pitched. He had a 9.82 ERA. This season, in 34.2 innings pitched, so more than double, he has a 2.6 ERA. And he's walked 4 less batters this season in 24 more appearances.
Wow.
Yeah, the kid has been phenomenal. He's got 45 strikeouts, and he's only walked 10 batters. Yeah, he's given up 6 home runs, which isn't great, but a whip at 1.038 is pretty damn good for a relief pitcher. Um, and strikeouts per walk, 4.5 is great.
I just wanted to add that the whip last season was
Yeah.
2.66, and it is all the way
Yeah.
down to like 1.04 ish.
Yeah. It's phenomenal.
It's been crazy this
Yeah.
year.
So shout out Andrew Nardi getting that work in the arm barn.
The arm barn. That's awesome.
But I think that's gonna do it for the MLB. We gave you all the MLB you could have possibly asked for.
Yeah, that was a long time of MLB recap.
Well, we've got
Wow.
quite a bit of NFL news, so let's get it started.
Let's lock in.
A super sad story to open this one up. Former Patriots, Texans, and Ravens quarterback, as well as former Arkansas Razorback Ryan Mallett, passed away at the age of 35 after a drowning incident in one of the beaches around Destin, Florida. That is just, oh man, it is so sad.
Yeah, absolutely terrible.
What a
remember
great
the
college
games.
quarterback. Oh my God.
I don't really remember him much in college, but I know that he was like a decent second stringer for, a couple of different teams that you mentioned there. Yeah, it's brutal. My dad actually, who he's older, he keeps up with the news a little bit more than, you and I. There's been a lot of people that have unfortunately passed away due to like drownings and stuff, like in the Gulf area by Florida. And yeah, he joins like a list of like 30 something people in like a month or something, just like wicked like that. And it's just super, super sad. Yeah, so second and short, we give our condolences to the Mallet family because that's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible,
Truly
terrible, terrible.
a fantastic athlete, honestly.
Yes.
2-time All SEC second team.
Wow.
Yeah. 7th in voting in 2010 Heisman.
With the Razorbacks too.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
But let's move on to this. This was just kind of scary news. Leonard Fournette tweeted out a picture of his car, which caught fire the other day. Luckily, he got out and was okay. But I guess the car was just like, it was totaled, like really bad. I don't know if you saw the pictures, but like it's like it looks like the scene of a death. Like it's crazy.
Dang, yeah, I'm looking at it now. That's insane.
Yeah, and he was just out fine.
What I'm reading is it just like burst into flames while he was driving.
Yeah.
Dang, that's horrible.
Yeah,
It was a Dodge Durango.
Yeah, it was a Hellcat.
Wow. Yeah, well, I'm glad he's okay. That's
sick
very
ass
scary.
car. Gotta be honest, sick ass car.
It is.
But yeah, that's very scary. Hopefully he gets picked up, man. I want to see him play
Yeah, me
more.
too. Dude, I actually I drafted him in one of my fantasy leagues.
Really?
I had to. It was that
Ballsy.
one fantasy league that I told you about where
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like you keep your players and everything.
Yeah,
And
Dynasty League.
yeah, by the time like some running backs would get to me, I have 2 free agents on my team actually. Now that I think about it, 2 free agent running backs.
Is it Dalvin?
It's not, no, I didn't end up with the good one. I think
Zeke?
it's Zeke and Leonard Fournette. That's who I have. Yeah.
I don't know how well that's gonna work for you.
I'm just hoping that Zeke can be a freaking goal line merchant like oh my god, what was his
Jamal
face?
Williams.
Yeah, Jamal Williams was last year.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
All right. This isn't exactly crime, but it is breaking the rules. A handful of NFL players are receiving season-long suspensions this week for allegedly gambling. When I made this prep sheet, I only had one name. Now I've got 3. So Isaiah Rodgers of the Colts, Rashad Berry of the Colts, and free agent Demetrius Taylor all receive indefinite suspensions, but it appears that's season long for allegedly gambling. And then Titans offensive tackle Nicholas Petit Frere is being suspended for 6 games.
For gambling?
Yeah.
So what did the tackle do that wasn't as bad as?
He was gambling on other sports, but on like in team facilities.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So probably like the least worst betting you could do
Essentially, a
in the
completely harmless thing to do.
NFL. Yeah, I was about to say. Wow.
Yeah, I think that's absurd.
Yeah, that is pretty absurd. I hate this betting shit, man. It's just it's like it's not that I hate the betting. It's I hate shit like this. Like he shouldn't even be suspended for a game.
Travis Kelce estimates that up to 80% of NFL players use cannabis. That's how the headline is. I would never call it cannabis.
You're not.
I'm
You're
not
one
a
of the cool
loser.
kids, I guess.
I'm not a loser.
I saw this when it came out, and I think he said something like 50 to 80%. But Travis Kelce is a very popular player that I'm sure talks to a lot of other players in the league. So I would say that this actually could be accurate.
Yeah, and like he's not the first player to say stuff like this.
No.
We know Le'Veon Bell was smoking before games.
Oh yeah.
And we know that Chris Long was smoking during the NFL season. Like, there's plenty of guys that are smoking weed. But
Cannabis.
yeah, cannabis, sorry. Ganja.
Ganja, if you will. That Mary Jane,
Yeah.
if you
But
feel inclined.
we are very well aware that there's tons of NFL players that are smoking weed. But are they going to get in trouble anymore? Because that's still a thing.
I think it is, but I don't know. It seems like the media likes to go after the bettors now, so the weed smokers and the potheads can lay low.
Fair enough.
That's what it seems like to me. I mean,
Yeah.
if people are getting in trouble, it's for betting these days.
Yeah. We all know that Travis Kelce was smoking weed when he was at Cincinnati. So,
Oh, 100%.
yeah, he was
Literally
like,
proven 100%, actually,
yeah,
right?
yeah, by his brother and himself.
Dang, it'd be your own blood
Yeah.
sometimes.
And I don't even know if it was just weed, because I
Oh.
know he was a party animal.
You want to talk about someone that probably, weed was just not enough for them? Gronkowski.
Oh, yeah, dude. Gronk had to be skiing down slopes of cocaine.
Life of the party at Arizona State. Or wherever he came from. Was it just Arizona?
I think it was just Arizona. I could be wrong.
I'm going to look it up real fast.
Yeah, look it up. But yeah, Travis Kelce, I feel like he's a booger sugar gentleman. Like, he's casual about it, though. Go to the bathroom, hit a bump, go back out. Nothing crazy. Not a big production.
Nothing
Just
big at all.
needed to get him going.
It was regular Arizona. So not
Okay.
state, but regular Arizona.
Still a party school.
Still a party school.
But let's continue here. Getting into some of the news that we're going to cover on Wednesday. The New York Jets may be involuntarily chosen to do Hard Knocks this offseason.
Oh yeah. I heard about that. They were talking about it on First Take or something, like if the Jets would, want to actually do it or not.
I don't think they do, but the NFL is allowed to just choose a team if nobody says they want to do it.
Well, I mean, they're a pretty good team to do it on this season. They've had a huge offseason, so like I'm sure there's a lot of entertaining stuff, going on over there, but
I'm sure the biggest pushback is Aaron Rodgers.
you think so?
I would assume he does not want to be on camera all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I can kind of see that about him and his personality.
But I do agree the Jets would be very entertaining. Probably the most entertaining.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Jason Kelsey said, I believe on his podcast, that Jalen Hurts still beats himself up over this Super Bowl loss. Jason said, I've spoken to him about it. He still beats himself up over this play, that play. I'm like, dude, you had the best performance ever by a quarterback in the history of a Super Bowl. You did just fine. Do you,
He was phenomenal.
yeah, do you think that Jalen Hurts should be taking this loss hard?
Yeah, I do. I do think he should.
Yeah,
It
I
it
kind of
has
agree.
it has nothing to do with his game though, because Jason Kelsey, I mean, he's 100% right. Jalen Hurts was phenomenal. I don't know about best performance by a quarterback in the history of a Super Bowl. I mean, Joe Montana was electric in the Super Bowl, so I'd have to look at that closer. But like, I mean, if you're the leader of the team, you're still the quarterback, and like I just said, the vocal leader. I would hope that you would take every loss like that. Um,
Yeah,
but that's just me. Uh, that's just how I see it.
agreed. Yeah, I think that, it's not like he can just forget it. That's the worst thing he could do.
Yeah,
And I think, with how good this team is and the fact that they'll probably get, somewhere close to that again, um, you got to be internalizing what happened in that game.
of course. I mean, it's all just more motivation for him. I mean, imagine what a hungry Jalen Hurts could look like next season. I'm not
Yeah.
a Philly fan, but the ceiling is the limit. I mean, after that Super Bowl, I think you and I kind of agreed that they both kind of deserve to win that game.
Yes.
And but yeah, no, I hope he still beats himself up over it because that's where all the fire is going to come from.
Exactly. The next thing, though, I'm kind of surprised this hasn't happened yet. Mercedes Lewis is waiting on the call for his 18th NFL season. In his own words, if you just look at my film from the last 3 years, there's no decline in what I'm able to do. Like
I
this,
like it.
this guy continues to be one of the best blocking tight ends in the NFL.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he's a relic. I really don't know why if they couldn't get him for cheap, why you wouldn't want him on your roster.
Yeah, like I'm sure he'd take the veteran minimum.
I wonder what that is.
I
The
don't
veteran minimum.
know off the top of my head.
I'm trying to find out how old Mercedes Lewis is. Does it say? You have it?
No, I don't have it here.
He is
But
39.
yeah, the let's see. I believe the minimum is 900,000.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, for Mercedes Lewis, heck yeah.
Actually, wait, because he's played over 10 seasons, the minimum is 1.1 million.
Okay.
So still not that much for a fantastic blocking tight end.
Yeah, and he actually won't even be 40. During the NFL season this season, his birthday's in May, so
Yeah,
you can still get one more season before you hit the big 4-0.
yeah. I love Mercedes Lewis. I remember he was so damn good in Jacksonville.
Oh yeah,
He had some great years. I think he had like a 3 touchdown game in Jacksonville.
really.
Yeah, I don't know why I remember that, but I think it was like a fantasy football thing that I remember it because of. But reportedly, DeAndre Hopkins, who's also a free agent, is trying to get some more teams interested after visits with the Titans and Patriots.
I wonder if that means that those visits didn't go that great for him.
I don't know. I think I don't know if it went bad or on which side did it go bad. Did DeAndre
Yeah,
Hopkins not like it, or I think that's probably the more likely possibility than the two teams being like, yeah, we're not, we're not getting you.
yeah. I mean, it is DeAndre Hopkins after a while.
Yeah,
After all, so I mean,
and like
uh,
I can imagine both of these teams him not liking.
yeah, I do too, and maybe it has something to do with I don't know if you heard about this, but yesterday Devontae Parker agreed to a new 3-year
Yeah,
deal with New England that was worth pretty much like $11 million a year, which is I think a lot of damn money for Devontae Parker,
Yeah, it's
even
pretty steep.
with his history. But I don't know, maybe that played in D Hop's decision making a little bit.
Could be. Another guy who is technically franchise tagged but hasn't signed his franchise tag, Josh Jacobs, could hold out of training camp and possibly into week 1 amid his contract negotiations.
That's not what the Raiders need at all,
Yeah, no kidding. Like
especially after his season last season.
what they need is to fucking pay this guy.
Yeah,
Like
you're
you have
exactly right.
no grounds to stand on to not pay this guy a lot of money.
Yeah, all the grounds that you had to stand on were ripped out from under you last season.
Yeah.
I mean, he was brilliant. We always talk about, the contract seasons, what that can bring out of an athlete that's already hungry. Josh Jacobs showed it, and he definitely showed why he deserves to be paid. So I, I obviously, like, I always hate it when players hold out, but in some cases, especially this one, I 100% get it.
Yeah, but you just have PTSD from Le'Veon.
Well, you didn't have to say that, but that's exactly why.
All right, we got some Bill Belichick quotes from this past week, and that always goes well.
I love this.
Bill Belichick said, "I feel like I coached the best player in football in Tom Brady, the best defensive player in football in Lawrence Taylor, and the best special teams player in football in Matthew Slater." What do you think?
I think defense and special teams is debatable.
Okay. Yeah, obviously Tom Brady's the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. LT's definitely got a claim to the throne.
100%. I'm not saying that he's not a good shout. I just don't know. I don't know if I'd call LT the best defensive player in football.
Okay. And then on special teams, this one's tough because it's hard to say like what makes a good special teams player. But undoubtedly, Matt Slater was great. Yeah.
Yeah, he was very, very solid. But I mean, the obvious answer would be Devin Hester, right?
Yeah, Devin Hester, even Cordero Patterson.
Even Cordell Patterson, who he did coach.
Yes, he did. I don't think he ever had Devin Hester, though.
No. Devin Hester, what was he? Cubs, Falcons, and then was that it? Just Cubs and the Falcons?
You said the Cubs.
Oh, the Cubs. The Bears. I always do that.
Yeah, that's the ones I can remember. Just Bears, Falcons. He might have ended up on some others. But, dude, Devin Hester, speaking of, so fucking crazy to watch his highlights. Oh my
Especially
God.
in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Play of the Super Bowl, man. My God.
Yeah, just absolutely ridiculous. Oh, he actually played in Baltimore in 2016.
I don't remember that.
His final season.
Huh. Interesting.
And Seattle, but didn't do anything there.
Also don't remember that.
Yeah, Baltimore and Seattle in 2016. Who would have thought? Played 0 games in Seattle. That's wild. But yeah, Devin Hester.
Yeah.
Shout out. Bro's one of the greatest in special teams. But I think I could agree with Matt Slater. I'm not going to argue. Like, you could say Devin Hester, you could say Cordero Patterson. There's probably other guys you could also say. I think I'd take Matt Slater. He's got a good amount of, merit there. But yeah, I think defensive player is so hard because, like, comparing a linebacker to a cornerback or a defensive tackle to a safety, like, that's just so impossible.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I'm actually going to throw in another special teams player out there that I just thought of, Jacoby Jones.
Yeah, very good.
Baltimore. Yeah, he fucked up the Steelers a couple times in special teams. I'll never forget him.
Yeah, Jacoby Jones was great. All right, next thing from Bill.
Oh, more from Bill.
Yes, Bill Belichick won the Super Bowl in year 2 with the Patriots, but he says that team was fortunate to win and that he hadn't really built the team he wanted in New England until his second Super Bowl in year 4.
Is he talking about the Super Bowl that they beat Carolina in? What team was fortunate to win, in his
It
opinion?
would be his first Super Bowl winning team with the Patriots.
Right? Let's. I think it's the one against Carolina or Philly. It's either Carolina or Philly. 8-time Super Bowl champion. Yeah, whatever. Bill Belichick.
I think his first was the Raiders.
Really? Oh,
I think.
that's another team in the AFC. That was the
Oh
championship
wait,
game.
yeah,
Nope, not that one. Hang on, I haven't found when he's a head coach yet. Here we go. It was the Rams.
Rams. Yep, I found it as well.
So he's beat the Rams twice.
Yeah,
Interesting. George H.W. Bush was the coin toss with Roger Staubach in that game in 2002.
interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
But I think that first team that played in that Super Bowl was very, very good. Can't deny that. That Rams team, I feel like, was better.
Yeah, yeah. In a lot of ways, that would have been like the Ty Law days and shit.
Dude, there was 5 Hall of Famers on that Rams team.
Oh yeah, Marshall Faulk was.
Yeah,
one of
Marshall
them?
Faulk,
Yeah,
Isaac Bruce, Orlando Pace, Kurt Warner, and Aeneas Williams.
and Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, these were 2 very good teams, I will say.
Yeah, but it really doesn't even matter who Bill Belichick plays against. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's
I
just
will say New
dismantling.
England's offense was pretty shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, they were a defense team back in the day.
Definitely. Like that defense was fire though. Richard
It
Seymour,
was.
Mike Vrabel, Teddy Bruschi, Ty Law. Ooh. Solid.
Those are some players to help you win a Super Bowl there.
What a name on this free safety though. Tabucky Jones? That's fucking sick.
Alongside Ty Law.
Yeah. Free safety
Wow.
Tabucky Jones and strong safety Lawyer Malloy.
Wow.
What a duo. Holy shit.
That's pretty funny.
All right. Next one. One more, Bill.
Let's go.
Spoke about the investment that the Patriots made in making Matthew Judon their highest paid player. Said, I think he'd help any team. And he is goddamn right. Because Matthew Judon is got to be one of the best defensive players in the league.
Yeah. Shout out to my friend Gavin, who is a Patriots fan. I mean, fuck the Patriots, but I do love you, Gavin. When Matthew Judon first got signed to the Patriots, I knew something was brewing because I remember this guy being in Baltimore playing against the Steelers, but I had no idea he was going to be as good as he is now. Matthew Judon, I think he might be top 3 most underrated players in the NFL right now.
Yeah, easily.
He is sick. The red sleeves, man, they're dangerous out there.
Oh, yeah. I love the red sleeves so much. We've talked about
Me
this
too.
before, but
We have.
fantastic. Melvin Gordon believes that the running back market started going downhill after the Todd Gurley deal.
So what does he mean exactly by the running back market started going downhill? Like what other deals have not been that great?
So Todd Gurley's contract that he speaks of was the 4-year extension, I believe, that he got back in 2018 for $60 million. So, $15 million a year for probably the best running back in the league at that time.
Yeah.
And that's not that much
No.
at all. Even for 2018, that's not that much. And
Would
then
it have been the most for 2018 though?
I believe he was the highest paid running back in the league.
Okay.
Because I think he surpassed Devontae Freeman,
Oh wow.
which is a really bad contract. Oh, that was a
Yeah, I was about to
regrettable
say.
contract. But I kind of agree. These short-term, kind of low-money deals for running backs is a relatively new thing.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a reflection of how little the running back is valued in the NFL at this point, because it's a quarterback league. No no ifs, ands, or buts. It
Yep.
is a quarterback league, and I I agree with Melvin Gordon, though he sucks. So I don't think this market's affecting him. Either
No.
way, he probably shouldn't be on. Shouldn't be even a top 2 on a roster. But I agree. I think that's why we're seeing so many running backs holding out or getting cut, like things like that. Where like right now we have Saquon and Josh Jacobs waiting on a contract. Dalvin Cook and Zeke both got cut.
Eckler was completely
Yeah,
fucked up for a while there.
Eckler had contract issues. Like, so many examples of top running backs in the league. And yes, I did say Ezekiel Elliott in the same sentence as top running backs in the league. Kind of a
One
mistake
point.
on my part. But like, these guys deserve to get paid. Not as much as a quarterback, but maybe more than some wide receivers.
Yeah, I would say so. It's just weird for running backs because we've talked about it a lot before, but like they deserve their money. They can catch, block, run. I mean, running backs are they're asked a lot of in some offenses, but you can't trust signing them for a long time for a long time anymore. Well, you never really could, but like
Yeah.
it's just this weird area of where they deserve their money, but they don't really deserve their years. So you end up giving them a fuck ton of money for just like 3 years.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's kind of strange.
Yeah. I think that he's kind of right with that Todd Gurley deal being the downhill. But I think Adrian Peterson probably started it. He signed a
Yeah.
7-year deal for $96 million in 2011, and since 2016, he's just been hopping around.
Yeah.
And then like Zeke got 6 years, $90 million, and now he isn't really a starting level running back. Alvin Kamara, 5 years, $75 million, hasn't really worked out. Now that we're seeing it, he's been pretty bad this year or this past year. Christian McCaffrey certainly worked. Carolina's 4 years, $64 million worked for him.
Yep.
Other than the fact that he left. But Dalvin Cook's contract didn't work out. 5 years, 20 or $63 million. They cut him after 3. Todd Gurley obviously didn't work out. We just talked about it. Le'Veon Bell, 4 years, $52.5 million with the Jets. Didn't work out. Derrick Henry, 4 years, $50 million is so under fucking paid. It's crazy.
Yeah, big time.
But
Because they have no one else to pay on
contracts like
either.
Devontae Freeman, who signed a 5-year, $41.25 million deal after that Super Bowl, got released 3 years later. David Johnson, 3 years, $39 million, got traded to the Texans. Hasn't been the same. Running backs just are not getting the money that they really deserve because, yes, like I said, it's a quarterback league. Running backs do quite a lot of fucking work for these offenses to succeed.
Yes, 100%.
And I agree with Melvin Gordon saying that the running back market is going downhill and that they should be paid more. But I feel like people still think that the running back should be like just after the quarterback in pay. And I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. It's just it's a weird spot for how durable they are and how much money they deserve.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's a tough thing to kind of put your finger on. But let's move on. The NFL Finance Committee met remotely last week, and it looks like they will recommend the approval of Josh Harris's $6.05 billion bid for the Commanders. Looks like they might ratify this late July.
Awesome.
Yeah, can't wait. Fuck Dan Snyder.
Yeah, probably could have bought the Commanders for a lot less, in my opinion. But at the same time, we also haven't seen a sports team get bought in a little while. I feel like of this nature. So who knows? Maybe it's
Broncos got bought last year.
how much were they?
Probably pretty close.
It has to be. I bet it's less.
I'm looking it up right now.
All right.
4.65 billion.
Wow. So yeah, they did overpay because probably the Snyders made them overpay.
Yeah, that's
Six.
fair.
I can't believe $6 billion for this franchise.
Yeah, it's not
Oh my
historic.
god.
Like they're not like a historically storied franchise. Like yeah, they've won like 2
2
Super
Super
Bowls.
Bowls?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think the last one was like in the 80s, 90s.
And just to like, what the team has been since like the early 2000s. It's a complete joke, really.
Yeah,
And I can't believe they sold for this much. Wow.
yeah, it's crazy. Travis Kelsey again. He addressed Jamar Chase, saying that Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the league. Travis said, "I thought it was a little bold. Who doesn't love some good locker room banter? Shout out to Jamar Chase for holding it down for his QB, but don't you ever disrespect Pat Mahomes now. If you want to talk your shit, pimp. Just better back it up." Has anybody in
Wow.
the last 10 years ended a sentence with pimp?
I know.
That's just absurd,
Wow. Those are fighting words.
I guess.
No, I love it though. I mean, the Chiefs and Bengals, that's going to be a very good game for years to come.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it already has been, and I love the trash talk here though. It's nice to see.
Yeah, it's great. Um, this next one is an interesting topic. James Cook feels that he's obviously the running back one for the Bills entering 2023, while Buffalo also has Latavius Murray, Naheem Hines, Damian Harris, and Jordan Mims on its roster.
So James Cook has no idea who the fuck Damian Harris is.
I guess.
Because Damian Harris, you want to talk about Judon being underrated? Let's talk about Damian Harris for a second. That dude's fucking good. That dude is super good. And if he didn't have Ramondre Stevenson, like biting at the ankles for chances too, because Ramondre is also pretty good, Damian Harris would have much better numbers than he already does. That is
Yeah.
your running back one right there.
Yeah, I think, going into the season, it's going to be Damian Harris. I think James Cook will get a significant amount of looks. But I think there's a little more to be done with James Cook for him to be a
There
running
is.
back one.
James Cook definitely deserves playing time. I don't want to see him, fall into the shadows, but he is not obviously running back one.
Yeah. And then his brother, free agent running back Dalvin Cook, got interviewed on SiriusXM the other day and said that he would be a perfect fit for the Dolphins. Mentions that Miami was the team that he was speaking with. And now, just I think yesterday or the day before, we heard that the Dolphins have made an offer for Dalvin Cook.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think that's the spot for him.
I mean, I don't know. I would like to keep my star running back away from the influencers of Miami. I would like for him to focus on football. So obviously that's a joke. No, I think it's a great fit, but damn, with Tua, Waddle, and Tyreek Hill,
Be a
it's gonna be
deadly
crazy.
offense.
Yes. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna let him leave his apartment.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
to
not
go to
letting him
practice.
hang out with Tyreek Hill at the marina.
Oh man.
All right, before we move on to what other people would call football, JJ Watt is joining CBS as an analyst. I think this is fantastic.
Let's go. I
Yep.
I feel like there is a transition in the sense of like you have a lot more entertaining athletes that are joining like broadcasting, can't talk, crews and such, and I really really like that.
Yeah, and do we know, like, is he going to be, like, in the booth, or is he just going to be on, like, the panel for, like, pregame,
Uh,
halftime stuff?
that's a good question. J Watt, CBS. Let's see what
Because
they
I
say.
don't know how good he'd be in the booth, honestly. But I think his entertainment value would be great on, like, a panel for CBS.
That's actually exactly what he's doing.
Okay, good.
He is an NFL analyst, or he'll be joining CBS as an NFL analyst, and he will appear on the NFL Today show.
Good,
So
good.
he'll be on a pregame show,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
I like that.
Like that too. I think that's like a perfect start for him. Who knows? Maybe he could, call some games or two, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember like who are all the guys on that pregame, like the NFL
Uh,
today.
Coach Cower, Nate Burleson.
Yes, yeah,
There's a
Boomer
lot of
Esiason.
NFL.
Yeah,
Yeah, Boomer Esiason. I love Coach Cower. Who
yeah,
are the
he's
other
great.
guys? Is it Jimmy
Uh,
Johnson too? He's one.
no, he's on Fox.
Fox, yeah,
Yeah,
with Strahan and all them.
James Brown, I believe, is one of the guys on there.
Yep, James Brown,
Yeah,
Phil Simms. That was the big one that I couldn't think of.
yeah,
Yeah, yep.
but yeah, I think we're gonna have a nice panel for NFL today this coming year. But let's go across the pond for now, and then we'll come back. But let's talk some confirmed signings. Started out
Yes.
Declan Rice to Arsenal for 133 million US dollars.
We need to have a serious conversation about this one, Grayson,
Yeah,
because how did Arsenal outbid Manchester City? And why did and I know Manchester City, they don't really need this kind of like, CDM spot, but why would you let Arsenal outbid you here?
because
I
Man
I
City's confident in their team.
yeah, but like but even in like the sense of don't let the other guys have them. I mean that was that was the second place team at the end of
True.
the season. And I expected Manchester City to, really fork out more money for this guy. And I did not think they were going to lose to Arsenal, but here we are.
I think what this is that, and we'll talk about this signing later, but Mateo Kovacic to Man City, I think he is the direct Ilkay Gundogan replacement.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's just kind of how it looks, at least. And I think that works. Declan Rice, yeah, he, can be helpful in the attack, but he's a holding midfielder. You have Rodri already. You obviously like having John Stones in the midfield because you played him there quite a bit.
Yes.
And with how good the defense has been, I wouldn't put John Stones back, trying to fight for a role there. So
Yeah.
why would you hash out, £100 million or whatever for Declan Rice when you've already kind of got it set up for yourself?
I mean, very true, but I mean, Declan Rice would have been fantastic
Yeah,
by
yeah, of
Rodri.
course, but any
Better than
everybody
Kovacic.
everybody could have picked up someone. Like
Well, yeah.
any team at any point could have just been like, well, he'd be really good for our team. We could spend 100 million whatevers on him,
Yep.
but they don't because maybe they don't need him. Maybe they're already putting enough money into other guys. Maybe they really like what they already have. Like that's going to be the case often. Not every team can be linked to every player, and I think that that's why Arsenal probably won this one is that they were willing to fork out the money. They were willing to meet what West Ham wanted, and I think that Man City probably a combination of they weren't really sold on the price tag that West Ham put on him, and considering that they already had guys there.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just and what a signing. What a war it was
Yeah.
to, like the outbidding and then bidding each other, man. It was entertaining.
Well, he just kept getting linked with teams. Like it started off, I feel like it started off with like Man U, of course, um, and then we also got Arsenal and then Man City, and also like Bayern was in on it. But then it kind of narrowed down to Man City and Arsenal, and now Arsenal takes it. I think it was a pretty solid bidding war.
Yeah, and I just want to jump into the next guy because it's another Arsenal one. Kai Havertz to Arsenal for $82 million. So
Yeah.
now it's very clear as to what Arsenal wanted to do this season. They brought in two center mids, basically, just big time center mids too. I I actually don't think Kai Havertz starts on this team.
Really?
I do. I really don't think he will.
I don't know. I think a midfield of Odegaard and Havertz playing like Cam, and then Declan Rice playing kind of like CM CDM works.
It definitely sounds good. I just don't know with what I've seen from Havertz at Chelsea. I just don't know if that's really going to happen. Of course, he wasn't playing center mid at Chelsea really, which is more of his spot. But I think Kai Havertz is. I think he might be kind of finished. I'm not going to lie.
I don't think so. I think that the morale at Chelsea was finished, and that fucked him over.
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a good point too. But I don't think I don't think I think Chelsea may have kind of ended his career. I
Yeah.
don't think he'll ever be the same. But who knows?
All right. Next one, Mason Mount to Manchester
Uh,
United. It's been agreed upon at 75 million US dollars. What do you think?
this is another guy. I just I don't know, and you
I
might be right. The morale at Chelsea was bad, and now a lot of really good young players are out of that situation. So who knows what could happen? Mason Mount, I kind of put him with the same opinion that I just did Havertz. I just don't really know.
Okay, so I do share this opinion with Mason Mount because I don't really see much of a spot here for him.
Yeah,
Because you have one of the better attacking midfielders in the world with Bruno Fernandes.
yep.
So that obviously already knocks him out of being the best. And then, I've heard, yes, Jadon Sancho sometimes plays on the right, sometimes he plays in like the center. I've heard rumors of him getting loaned out, but I don't really know who I'd take between those two, honestly, because Mason Mount has not been good.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like, who else
It's a
is in
tough
Man United's
decision.
midfield? Because I believe Fred's on the move.
And Sabitzer, I think, is going to go back
Yeah, I think he already
too. Which
has.
that I think Sabitzer, that I think will hurt them a
Yep,
lot more than they think it will. He was brilliant
I
at
agree.
Manchester United. But
Trying to pull up who all they have in the midfield because I'm totally blanking on it right now.
no one wants to listen to us, though.
What the fuck?
Erickson, right?
Yeah.
Isn't he one?
Okay, yeah, Erickson.
I would take Erickson over Mount any single day.
Oh, yeah. Like, let's see. So, as of last year, Bruno Fernandes, Erickson, Casemiro, duh, totally forgetting about him. They have Donny Van Beek, I believe, staying. Scott McTominay. I think they did just send out Zidane Iqbal, but he's like a young player, so that's not that surprising. So
Yeah.
I feel like the midfield spots are kind of spoken for because Erickson and Fernandez should be playing a majority of the time. Yeah, Ericsson's going to need a break every now and then, and Mount will come in. I think the only time we see Mason Mount in this lineup is probably in like Champions League games.
Yeah, for like your middle of the
Yeah.
week games where you need to rest
Yeah,
people. Yeah.
Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup.
Yeah. Which who knows? I mean, that coming off of a pretty bad season, um, last season for Mason Mount, that's the perfect way to, get back into form though,
Yeah. Well, it
is doing that.
single-handedly got Fred, some value.
Yeah, it did, but I mean, do you think we'll see Mason Mount on the wing at all?
Maybe we could, but when you're talking on the wing, like Marcus Rashford has, left wing spoken for, and
Yeah.
then I feel like Anthony and Garnacho have a case, as well to hold those spots, and then Sancho as well, kind of between the wing and the center, if he does stay. So I don't know. It's interesting.
I guess that's just the good thing about Mount is although, we don't think he's going to start or, really get that much playing time, but at least he can come on as a sub for pretty much any offensive position that's not striker. He can play cam, center mid, and wing. And
Yeah,
those are, highly sub spots. Those are the guys that are doing the running.
true.
So, I mean, I definitely think we will see him. It's just whether or not he can work his way into that starting 11. I'm just a little bit still uncertain about it.
Yeah, agreed. So let's talk about Mateo Kovacic to Man City. So what I said earlier, I'm going to kind of back it up here. I think Mateo Kovacic plays the attacking role very well. He plays just standing in the midfield very well. And I think it works as a good replacement for Ilkay Gundogan. I don't think he is as good as Ilkay Gundogan, but I think he fills that role well and at least allows them to, get maybe some other players to, or, the other guys on this lineup to help him out.
Yeah, I definitely like that take. Kovacic and Gundogan are super similar styles of play in
Yeah.
midfield. I just like if I am Manchester City with that budget and with just coming off of a treble, I am replacing. I wouldn't even go for Kovacic first of all, although Kovacic is a good option. At best, Kovacic needs to be depth in this lineup. I seriously think that they should have splurged here. I really do.
Yeah. Like who? Who would be a good option?
I don't know who, but it's you have all that money. They haven't really been linked to anybody except for Declan Rice. I don't really think Manchester City have bought anybody. It's been a lot of talks of players leaving. Like you have that budget and you have that draw coming off of the treble. I just think that they should have gone more all out for a midfielder. Maybe like one of the young guys from Barcelona. That would have been better.
I think it's gonna be hard
Mateo
to draw
Kovacic.
some of those guys away, though.
For sure. Those are like academy kids and stuff too. On top of the fact that they're, young and good. But like, I don't know. I think Kovacic is underwhelming is probably the
It
best way that
is,
I would put
yeah.
it.
I agree. Um, but yeah, it. But like I said, like you couldn't really pull that many midfielders that fill that role well, and I think that's why Kovacic was the option.
Yeah.
Because like you're like let's say they were interested in trying to get Pedri. Used him as an example. He's 20 years old. I got a feeling that number would have been significantly more than what they would have paid for Declan Rice.
Yeah. It probably would have been record breaking fee, I think.
Yeah. And what's interesting is that we don't see a ton of record breaking fees coming into the Premier League.
No. I mean Enzo was pretty high.
Yeah, definitely. But like what the most expensive Neymar to PSG. Now we have ones more recent like Bellingham to Real Madrid. I'm totally Mbappe from Monaco to PSG. Like the big spenders are in other parts of Europe. And if anything, a guy might come up and play very well in the Premier League and get bought out for a huge fee. But it doesn't seem like the big number is ever coming to the Premier League.
Yeah, I actually I have it here. So Neymar, Barcelona to PSG. Mbappe, Monaco to PSG. João Felix, Benfica to Atletico Madrid. Enzo Fernandez is fourth all time, Benfica to Chelsea. Coutinho left Liverpool for Barcelona. He's fifth all time.
That's so crazy.
I know. Griezmann, Atletico Madrid to Barcelona. He's tied for fifth all time. Jack Grealish is seventh all time, going to Manchester City. Romelu Lukaku is eighth all time, Inter to Chelsea in 21, 2 years ago. And then your last one in the top 10 is Paul Pogba back in 2016 to United. So yeah, not a lot of Premier League transfers to your point.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like Man City has done a very good job of like getting some of these guys for cheap and making them very good.
Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of things that, Pep Guardiola can give you with that, eye for talent. But Manchester City are the team that could change that though.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Especially in this modern world of, all this money and all these, super expensive transfers. I don't know why they would continue to hold themselves back like that. Even though with what they've been doing is working, to your point, I still think, coming off of the treble, you got to bring something in big. You got to do it.
Yeah.
and they really haven't yet.
True. But like when you look at Man City's best players right now, like Erling Haaland only cost them 60 million euros. Kevin De Bruyne only cost them 74 million euros. Ruben Diaz only cost them I don't see it in euros, but 65 million pounds. So
Yeah.
like they don't have to spend that much. It's crazy.
No, not at all. They just they know how to bring in the talent over there.
Yeah, and they grow it as well. Like they do a good job of finding young players internationally to bring in. Like Sergio Aguero, they got when he was pretty young. Um, Now like Julian Alvarez, like guys like that they kind of build up themselves seem to be the guys that pay off for them.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Phil Foden as well. Phil Foden lover right here. Big Phil Foden guy. But next, Timothy Weah to Juve.
Love it.
I think this is a fantastic move.
I do too. It looks more and more like Vlahovic is on his way out of Juve, and I'm
Yep.
not saying that Timothy Weah is already going to be like a number one replacement for Italian giants Juventus, but like it's not bad with all the rumors around Vlahovic at all.
Yeah, it's not a bad pickup at all. And he might not guarantee. He's definitely not guaranteed to start. Um, you know,
Yes.
Naturally playing kind of right wing and striker, really either wing and striker. Um, it's not going to be the easiest thing to get into that Juventus squad.
No, not at all.
So, yeah, I don't. I love this move. I think this is the place where he could really build himself up, which is what he needs.
Yes. It's about time for for Weah to break out, I think. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, because so he's coming from who was he with last year? Lille.
I didn't think he was in France. Let me see. I'm looking it up. Oh, yeah, you're right. Was
Okay,
Lille.
yeah, because he was at PSG. Like that's where he played when he was kind of young.
Yes.
And then went on loan to Celtic, then transferred to Lille in 2019, and he's been good, not great, but he's been a solid player for the United States as well. And I think he kind of deserves this.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm actually looking at it now. He in 89 appearances for Lille 2019 to now, he has actually only scored 6 goals. So I hope he's been playing wing over there because that's horrible.
Yeah,
Actually, like
I
that's
believe he has been
terrible.
playing wing.
Okay, well that's good.
Uh, but
Didn't score a goal last year in 29 appearances.
yeah. Um, Another U.S. national team player, Ricardo Pepi, going to PSV.
Much more excited about this one.
Yes, me too, because PSV does such a good job of making players better.
100%. And I think he might be a starter off the bat. Maybe. I
Maybe
can't think
he's
of who
20
PSV
years
has.
old, so it'd be pretty difficult.
PSV strikers. I'm looking up who PSV strikers are right now. Oh yeah, they have that El Ghazi guy who's decent.
Yeah.
Luke De Jong, who's been, playing around for a while. So he's definitely joining a pretty good or no, Luke De Jong plays for Barcelona. Why is it showing me old
No, you're thinking of
players?
Frankie De Jong, right? He plays for
No,
Barcelona.
Luke and Frankie both played for
Oh, really?
Barcelona. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, I apparently PSV have nobody that plays for strike or plays striker for them. I can't find it.
Well, whatever. My favorite part about this for Ricardo is that he started in the MLS, and that's a big deal. Because a lot of
Yes.
guys, maybe they played for like a youth team in the MLS and then, made the jump to Europe and then made it like started their senior career. But for Ricardo, he started off playing for FC Dallas as his youth team, then played for the senior team for 2 years, scored 15 goals, went on loan to like some small ass team, and then got transferred to Augsburg, then went on loan in Netherlands to Groningen, and now transferring to PSV, I think is just such a fantastic move.
Yeah, and like you said, you pretty much said it best earlier. Is that they do such a good time with, or such a good job with young talent over there in that league that he's in great hands.
Yeah, agreed.
100.
Um, the next big confirmed move, James Madison to Spurs.
This one is massive.
Yeah,
I love James Madison. He is a very underrated, solid player, and has been for Leicester for a while. But like, dang, now the ball just got a lot bigger for him, basically, and I think he'll deliver. I really do.
yeah, he's fantastic, and he plays that position so well. So,
Yes.
I think for Tottenham, especially if they lose Harry Kane, having a guy that can create chances is going to be a big, big thing they'll need.
100%. And I kind of, now that you just said it, I wonder if this transfer is to keep Harry Kane, because James Madison is a very solid, either can play right mid or kind of cam or center mid, like a playmaking role in those three spots. And maybe it's to keep Harry Kane, in Tottenham. Who knows?
Could be. But next move, Yuri Tielemans leaving Leicester, making the move to Aston Villa. This one, it's a solid move for Aston Villa. I feel like, Tielemans kind of out of favor across, the majority of teams. Like, he wasn't that great at Leicester these last couple of years, but certainly made his name there. And making the move to Villa is not a problem. I think this is a depth move for Villa.
I think we could actually see him in the starting 11 at Villa. Although Aston Villa are a pretty, decent Premier League team, and Tielemans is kind of, had a lot of potential. Transferred to Leicester from, I think, Belgium, some team in Belgium, maybe like Anderlecht or something like that. And he comes to Leicester and it doesn't really work out for him, except for that screamer against Chelsea. And I do you know what goal I'm talking about, Grayson?
I don't, not particularly.
Okay, well, after we're done recording, I'll have to show you this Tielemans goal against Chelsea. It was pretty much the only good thing he did at Leicester. Um, but yeah, Aston Villa. I mean, who wouldn't want to go play for Aston Villa today?
True.
I mean, a lot of young, good talent over there. They're a fantastic team, I think.
Yeah. Also, while we're talking about Villa, I keep seeing people using this new logo. What do you think about it? Because it looks like the Chelsea logo.
For Aston Villa?
Yeah, I've been seeing it like randomly. Like some people use like the normal logo. Apparently, this new logo was decided from a fan vote. I guess they used it a little bit last year, but I don't think it was on any like jerseys. Just like an alternate logo.
Holy shit, that's
It's
Chelsea's logo.
literally the Chelsea logo.
It doesn't look bad, but it's the Chelsea logo.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's just that the head of the lion is looking in a different direction.
I don't know why they didn't take the old logo and just I don't know. I like with what they did, like the Aston Villa part of it, and like it has the I guess like founding year.
Yeah.
I think they should have just added that to that shape, the old logo.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the old logo, like that crest style. Looks really good.
Do too, but I think it would look better if it said Aston Villa instead of AVFC.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But when you think about logos in like a business standpoint, the shape that they had there, very hard to make Aston Villa look good in that
Yes,
spot.
it's true.
But to get back to what we were talking about, the next player, one of my favorite transfers. We've talked about this guy. I think like every single week we've talked about transfer moves because I love him. Kim Min Jae, fully confirmed at Bayern, fee £42 million. And I've seen people who obviously did not watch the Serie A or Champions League have been questioning this fee of 42 million. People saying it's high. I think you're high if you think that's the wrong fee because the whole story is told in one sentence. He was one of two players to play at least 550 minutes in the Champions League last year and not be dribble passed by an opponent.
Yep,
Not once.
And the other player was Pele. No, I'm just kidding.
The other player was Antonio Rudiger.
Damn, like, and it's always Bayern too. They just never seem to make a fuck up when it comes to transfers. And
James
maybe I'm
Rodriguez.
wrong. Oh yeah, yeah.
I think that was a free transfer, so like it's not that bad.
Yeah, that. But no, you're right there. But like, damn, Bayern just got a very good player. Again, they always get good players, but
Yes.
this dude is very solid.
Yeah. Like they made Alex Vidal good again for like a year.
They sure did.
Like that's
I always
crazy.
forget that he played at Bayern.
Yeah. But let's get more into the rumors. So no more confirmed moves. Bayern Munich is showing interest in Harry Kane. I hate this move personally. I think it's dumb. But
I would love
Alan
it.
Shearer loves this move. He
Why does Alan
said,
Shearer love this move?
if Harry Kane wants to join Bayern, I'll drive his fucking car there myself. Anything to protect my Premier League goal scoring record of 260.
Oh, what a fucking quote! Oh my god! Oh wow, that's damn. If I'm
Yeah.
Harry Kane, that's exactly what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that would make me stay.
yeah, it might make me stay too, but it's just Chelsea fan. I want to see the downfall of Tottenham. I have a lot of respect for Bayern Munich, and it would be cool to actually look at Harry Kane from afar and be able to respect his game now because I really can't. I'm not allowed to.
Yeah.
And I would like it if he went to the Bundesliga personally. You don't see a lot of British people in
Yeah.
the Bundesliga, and I
Yeah.
think he'd be interesting to see how he could do.
Yeah. Only one I can even think of right now is Jude Bellingham last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, Harry Kane is at 213. Alan Shearer holds the record at 260. So, 2 more decent seasons by Harry Kane, he's got it.
I think so.
Because
100%.
Harry Kane seemingly wasn't that good last year and scored like 40 goals.
Yeah. An off year for Harry Kane is a good year for everybody else.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yep.
30 goals, not 40. That would have been ridiculous.
Still
But
a lot.
yeah, 30 goals, insane. Literally 2 years of 30 goals would surpass him halfway through the second year.
Yes.
So, I'm sure Alan Shearer wants to keep that one because he keeps losing records because of Erling Haaland.
Yep.
But
Yes.
the next one, Liverpool eyeing Leipzig's Dominic, I believe it's Sabazalai.
Soboslai.
All right, that was close enough.
And the only reason I know that is because I love this guy on FIFA. Let me tell you something about Soboslai. Dominic Soboslai from Leipzig. Hungarian player, first of all. Very unique. Very nice there. His left foot, all I'm going to say, I wouldn't get in the way of it if I was a defender. He's got a freak left foot. Not really not the greatest in the weak foot department on the right side, but he's a fantastic center attacking mid. He can play left mid. Good playmaker, and I think he could work out Liverpool pretty well. I think with McAllister, but that's just my opinion. I like this guy.
I think it's a fantastic move. He's been so good for Leipzig over the last couple of
Yes.
years.
Yeah, for sure.
I think, tell me if I'm wrong, he came from the other Red Bull team, right?
I think
before that?
I think you're right.
gonna
Let's see.
double check
Yeah,
myself.
yeah, you're
Okay.
right. You're right.
Yeah, they do that a lot.
They do that for a lot for some reason.
But yeah, I think that's great. He's a fantastic player. He's only 22, which I think is crazy because I feel like I've seen his name for a while.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's also one of those kind of like awkward, lanky, tall builds for a playmaking role, and I feel like you're seeing that a lot more in today's game with some players. So he kind of fits that style.
Yeah, I agree. I think he'd be great at Liverpool, like you said, especially with
Yes.
this addition of Alexis McAllister.
Yes.
But next guy, Chelsea, interested in Aymeric Laporte.
I love it.
I think it's great.
I would take another, veteran defender, especially if we're taking them away from Manchester City. Yeah, I really don't have much else to comment on this move. I really hope it happens.
Yeah,
Really hope it
was he injured last year? Because I feel like I didn't see him play all that much.
That's a good question. I mean, they also, they reworked their team out a lot,
Yeah.
formation wise. So I almost want to say he was just benched the entire time.
Yeah, and he's also linked to Spurs as well. I don't see that as the likely destination though.
Yeah, I don't really either.
Um,
Uh, yeah, I
see,
don't know if he was hurt last night. Not last night.
last season.
The season, yeah.
Let's see.
uh,
Yeah, 2022, 2023. He only started 11 games.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, once again, he could have just been on the bench too, because they
Yeah.
like the Kanji and Ake a lot.
Yeah, which I do as well. So I'm
Yeah,
honestly like, if I'm Man City, I'm okay with Aymeric Laporte leaving.
yeah, I agree with you. It's kind of a win-win here. Chelsea could use him. Manchester City don't need him.
Yeah,
Really, what it comes down to.
for sure. And then Christian Pulisic linked with AC Milan. He said that he's given the green light to Chelsea to sell him. They just have to figure out the fee.
Yeah, I just bummer because I kind of thought dude, I'm so back and forth. Like you can probably pull up old episodes of me where I'm just trashing Christian Pulisic, but like I don't know. It's like it's just hot and cold with me. Like today, hearing this news, I'm kind of upset, that he is given the green light to go because I know Pochettino. It sounded like he was excited to work with him once he arrives at Chelsea, but I have to admit, AC Milan for a player like Pulisic is not a bad move at all. Pulisic
No.
is one of those very, physical. He likes the 50-50 ball, and he's, a very decent playmaker. I think he fits AC Milan like almost perfectly, actually.
Yeah, I agree. Um, I think it would work because we talked about it. I think last week I said that Marcus Thuram was like going to AC Milan. Well, they flipped. He flipped it and went to Inter Milan. So
Ooh.
now they still have that opening, on the wing that Marcus Thuram was going to fill. Now you could get Christian Pulisic.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I don't really know how to feel. I think the more players we sell, the better players that will come in. Because Chelsea, I mean, we just freed up another $75 million with Mason Mount today.
Yeah,
So the more players that leave, it kind of builds more anticipation to see what we're going to bring in. But at the same time, anticipation of what Chelsea can bring in is still unknown. All we know now is that we've lost a lot of players, and it looks like we could lose one more in Pulisic. So I really don't know how to feel about all this Chelsea stuff, man. We've
yeah,
been in the news a lot.
definitely. Your name is all over the transfer rumor like Twitter accounts.
Yeah, about people leaving,
Yes.
jumping
But
ship.
AC Milan also interested in another winger, Villarreal's Samuel Chukwueze. Um, I think he's been good. Hasn't been like phenomenal for Villarreal, but definitely been a good player. I think it would be a great pickup, nonetheless. But I do like Christian Pulisic a little bit more, and I might, just be biased because I've seen him play a whole lot more.
Yeah, I don't really I don't know. I mean, it sounds like you could get what did you say his name was? Chuck Wuzaway?
I think it's Wuze.
Wuze? Chuck
Yeah,
Wuze? I think you could probably get him for cheaper than Pulisic, so maybe that's like an interesting idea for AC Milan, but at the same time, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I haven't really heard much about this guy, and looking at his stats, they don't really jump out at me like,
yeah.
Pulisic's would. So maybe Pulisic's still better, but you probably could get this guy for cheaper.
Yeah, like transfer market has him valued at 25 million euros. So that's pretty cheap. I don't really know like what is the market for Christian Pulisic right now.
I don't know. I would say it's in like the 40s or 30s range. 35 at like the least, I
Yeah.
would say.
Actually, transfer market has him valued at 25 euros or 25 million euros as well.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah, very much. But let's move to this move because I think it's great. Chelsea looks like their move for Santos's 18-year-old winger Angel Gabriel likely to go through because Barca is not willing to rival their 15 million euro bid And then I'm also seeing rumors that he'll be immediately loaned to Strasbourg, who is the team that they recently just bought ownership in.
What a weird shit that's going on, man. But this guy though, I really hope this happens. I mean, the last teenage winger that came out of Santos that I remember was this guy named Neymar, who turned out to be, average.
Yeah, he's
So
pretty good.
hopefully Chelsea can strike gold here too.
Yeah, I think this is a great move. I don't know too much about this guy, just mainly because he's playing in Brazil.
Yeah,
But um, I got a feeling it's going to be a good move if, obviously if they develop him correctly. But very, very common build for Brazilian winger slash forward, 5'8", makes sense. But very skillful. Like his game is great. It appears he's not really a goal scorer. 67 appearances for Santos, only scored 3 goals, but he's got the skills, and I believe he's a pretty good passer, is what I've seen. Obviously, playing on the wing, kind of got to be. So, yeah, hopefully this one works out.
I hope so too. I just, I can't believe that Chelsea beat out, Florentino Perez and Real Madrid because he loves watching Brazilian children.
Oh,
Probably stalks them, if you will.
he might. He's got 2 of them.
I can't believe Chelsea won this though. That's insane.
Yeah, especially over Barcelona, because obviously Barcelona has this connection to Santos through Neymar.
Yes.
So I don't know, but I'm glad. I want to see more young Brazilian players come up with Premier League clubs, because it seems like they always come up in Portugal and Spain.
Yeah, no, I'm completely with you there.
But I do like the idea of having Strasbourg as a place to just send a player to develop. I love that so much.
How convenient.
Yeah. Like they could just
man.
continue to loan him there until he's ready.
Literally.
And like, what are they going to do about it?
Man.
Say no to themselves?
Exactly. Matt,
Smart.
he signs the paperwork, pushes it across the table, then he runs around to the other side of the table, signs it. Oh shit.
Yeah, they could get some deals done pretty quickly.
That would be pretty efficient.
Yeah. I wonder if there's any players on Strasbourg right now that maybe Chelsea will just pick up.
Yeah, just move them to Europe.
Yeah.
To London.
That would be hilarious.
I don't know of any players that are on Strasbourg.
I feel like they have like a good keeper, maybe.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't really know either. I don't pay that much attention to France outside of all the bullshit PSG polls.
Yep.
But nonetheless, I think that's so funny.
Me too.
But next thing, it appears Bayern have agreed to the 50 million euro bid for Lucas Hernandez from PSG.
So is this a loan that expired and he's just going to stay with Bayern? Because I thought he already played for Bayern.
No, he's going to PSG.
Oh, he's going to PSG.
Yes.
Okay, my bad. So,
I wrote that one very weirdly.
But you're good. I know he's already spent time in France before, so I don't really see how this is a bad move. Maybe kind of a suckier move for Bayern, but
yeah, like he's a great player, undoubtedly. Yeah. But
I think he is.
Yeah, I see this as like a pretty good deal.
I do too.
I don't think it's a problem for either team.
Nah, PSG they need that striker though.
True.
I'm telling you, it's Gonzalo Ramos.
We don't know that Mbappe's gone yet.
True.
We don't know anything yet, and he could be waiting. But
we'll probably never know when he's gone.
Yeah, that's true. He'll just end up on Real Madrid for $5 billion. He's just gonna play for a Saudi Arabian team.
Yeah.
Mbappe's a money-hungry piece of shit.
Yep, pace merchant.
Yep, facts. Absolute sweat. Next, Aston Villa are in advanced talks with Villarreal defender or at least with Villarreal for their defender Pau Torres. I think this would be a good pickup. Pau Torres is actually very good. Um, one of the many players that actually gets some shine out of La Liga from some of the smaller teams, and I think Villarreal has been kind of the breeding ground for some great players. So, yeah, I think this would be a great move.
If this transfer goes through, he is the best player on Aston Villa.
Yeah, probably.
That's my take.
It's like him and Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, this is what I want to start seeing from some of these kind of middle of the road Premier League teams is the talks like this. They're actually luring away talent that could go somewhere else.
Yeah,
And yeah, Pau Torres, like you said, is phenomenal. Almost way too phenomenal to be talking to Aston Villa. But then again, Aston Villa, they were like what, top 6, top 5 team.
yeah,
Where
they
did they end up
were
at? Like,
up
were
there.
they
I think
fourth?
they finished like seventh,
Yeah, I mean that's
maybe.
that's pretty good. And Pau Torres would make your team so much better. I love this. I love this rumor here. I hope
Yeah,
it. I hope it works out.
I agree. I think it would be great.
Yes.
Let me just double check this. The table. Oh, well, that's next season. Um, yeah, they finished seventh.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
No, not at all. And yeah, I really like what Aston Villa kind of has going right now. I'm I'm like a big fan of what they've got going on, and
Yeah.
when it comes to the defense, they definitely need a little bit of help there. Matty Cash, very good last year,
Yes.
as well as Ezri Konsa and Tyrone Mings, as well. Actually, a bunch of great defenders on this team, honestly. But there are also some guys you could probably sell and get some money off of. Like Callum Chambers is a guy that you could sell. I think you should keep him personally, but nonetheless, like oddly enough, they got some goal scoring from their defenders. Um, Matty Cash had 9 goals and 14 assists last year.
Damn.
Lucas Digne 11. Wait, hold on. No. That's not last year. That's their full careers with Aston Villa. I'm an idiot. Because I'll tell you what, I know Lucas Digne did not make 252 appearances last season. I don't know what the Premier League did with their with the website, but it is just so hard to find shit.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know what the issue is.
Oh man, damn! 252 games in 1 year.
All right, hold on. Pause, please.
I'm pausing.
Okay, defenders. Matty Cash, 26 appearances last season. Very good. 3 clean
Sounds
sheets.
more like it.
Yeah. All right.
Woo, that's
All right.
funny.
So,
Need to calm
back
down.
to what we were saying. They still have a great defense, though. Matty Cash, Ezri Konsa, Tyrone Mings, Callum Chambers, Lucas Digne, and the list goes on. I'm totally fine with what they already have, but adding Pau Torres would be phenomenal.
Yeah, what they have is fine. It's just they're not superstars like Pau Torres can be, I think.
Correct.
So, yeah, I like the Pau Torres move, but yeah, to your point, what they have is perfectly fine.
And looks like Man United is looking to loan out Mason Greenwood because Eric Ten Hag doesn't want to sell him yet.
Interesting. So, was he? Maybe I'm getting him mixed up with someone else, but he ended up being found like not guilty, right? Like he didn't do all that shit that he did.
I
That
believe so.
okay. Well, I mean that's good for him. I don't know if that's the truth, but I imagine that's why he's in the news again. Yeah, they got dropped on him in
Okay.
February.
Yeah. Still.
But Manchester United have been kind of doing their own investigation though on him apparently.
Yeah. That's what makes this situation very weird.
Yeah.
But
Don't
Mason
really
Greenwood
know.
has a future ahead of him in soccer, undoubtedly.
He does. And it's cool to see that the charges were dropped, and I hope that he didn't do it because he's a fantastic young kid that plays on a team that's kind of up and coming with him. We're starting to see a little bit more promise out of Manchester United, and it'd be cool if Mason Greenwood could be a part of that. But who knows? what the future holds for him at this point.
Yeah, I have a feeling it is getting loaned out to probably like a lower end of the table team this next season.
You don't think he could like end up in the championship or somewhere else in Europe?
I don't know about the championship. I think if they loan him out, he should probably stay in England and go to like Burnley, like a team that just came up, needs some talent on the team. Throw him out there.
I could see that.
I think JJ Watt would fuck with him.
Oh my God, who's Burnley's coach? It's a big name.
Vincent Company.
That's right. I couldn't remember who actually was their coach. Yeah, sure, Company could like him.
Maybe. As long as he
Yeah.
didn't actually do anything. Because then nobody should
Yeah.
like him.
No one should like him at all.
But next, Eric Ten Hag, once again, stopping them from doing something. He blocked the move of Tom Heaton to Luton Town because of De Gea's future being uncertain.
Weird.
Yeah, I
Very,
feel like
very weird.
even if De Gea doesn't stay, you're going to find a keeper better than Tom Heaton.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you better.
Yeah, definitely better. I've been hearing a lot about that in the news, and it definitely is a conversation we could have. But like, what are you doing in regards to De Gea if you're Manchester United?
I'd try to keep him, man. He had the most
I would
clean
too.
sheets last season.
Yeah, he had a pretty big resurgence, I thought, last season. I mean, he's getting up there in age, but like, and I know Saudi Arabia have been calling his name a lot, but I mean that's your guy. You know, I
Yeah.
think I want to say like out of the entire starting 11, he's got to be like the one with them the longest at this point, right?
Probably, yeah.
I'd imagine so. And I don't know, like if a guy that you've had for this long, has like a resurgence here, and it's like what you said, had the most clean sheets. Why would you not, want to re-sign him? He's a club legend who's still playing well.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
All right. Well, before we move on to the MLS, I want to say something real quick. So, obviously, Premier League season is over. Next year, for the Premier League season, before it starts, I'm going to be deciding who my team is.
Oh shit.
It's going to be on the podcast. Decision.
Oh, let's go.
I've got a few teams in my mind. I'm not going to say them yet. But one of them is not Chelsea. I don't want us to be rooting for the same team. Sorry.
Damn.
So Chelsea is out of the running. As well as Luton Town. I'll take them out as well. Sorry. I love the story. I think that's all it is.
You gonna be a Wrexham fan?
No. I said Premier League. It'd take a few
Who knows?
years before that one
think-
happens.
With how much fucking hype they have, they've
Yeah.
been winning the Prim for 25 years straight now.
I'm officially a hashtag United fan.
Shout out Spin FC.
I am actually a hashtag United fan. Just not my Premier League team.
Me too.
Yeah, fuck Hummel for fucking them over. But let's talk. We're bringing it back across the pond, but we're keeping it with the same sport. Kind of. I feel like the sport is just entirely different. But it's time for the MLS, the debut of the MLS on Second and Short. And I really don't know if I'm excited for this or not. I'll be honest. I don't.
Just test it out.
Yeah, this is the pilot of the MLS. We might not pick it up.
Yes.
But we're going to try and catch you guys and ourselves up on the MLS season thus far. And we'll start with the standings in the Eastern Conference. Cincinnati leads with 43 points. They are 13-2-4. Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. They kind of came out of nowhere. They've pretty much been horrible the entire time they've been an MLS team, except for this season. They've been killing.
Yeah, 10-0-0 at home.
Yeah, that's
Wild.
that's nice. Yeah,
But
and St. Louis.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about them in the West.
Okay, we're doing East first.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
we're going East first. Cincinnati's 3-2-4 at home though. Away. Sorry, that's an issue.
It is an issue.
But New England Revolution in second, no stranger at the top. They are 10-3-6 with 36 points, 7-0-3 at home. Not bad. 3-3-3 away. Once again, not too bad. Nashville in third. They have the leading goal scorer in the league, and we'll get to the leading goal scorers, but they've played actually tied for the most games played with 20. They sit at 35 points, 10-5-5. What I'm noticing so far, we're only 3 teams into the standings, is that these teams actually kind of lose and draw quite a lot.
Yeah.
Because it took quite a while for some Premier League teams to get to this point.
Yeah.
In losses and draws.
Yep, this is
also,
America.
I'm on the MLS's website, and it shows that it's ties. Sorry, it says T is total draws. They're saying it's ties, right? Like they're saying it's ties. And that's an issue. That's something we're not going to be agreeing with. It's draws. But number 4 in the East, and we're only going to go to the playoff teams. I don't give a fuck about the shit teams. Philadelphia.
This may be the last time you guys ever hear the MLS.
Actually, no. I do want to talk about some of these teams not in the playoffs because they're actually interesting ones to talk about. But Philadelphia's in 4th. And I'm going to run through this because we've already been going for like 2.5 hours. Philadelphia's in 4th. They have 34 points, 10-5-4. Columbus in 5th. Wait, who won last? Oh, never mind. LAFC won it last year. Columbus won a couple of years ago. Columbus 31 points, 9-6-4. Atlanta United, the Five Stripes, 29 points. They sit in 6th place, 7-5-8.
Atlanta United. I don't know if you've seen this yet. Look how many goals for at 37, but look how many goals against.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Bro, is Miles Robinson just not doing his job?
It's I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on, but they're tied with the most goals conceded, but they're up there in goals scored. It's really frustrating.
Yeah, 37, in the East at least is second.
Yeah, their goal difference is 2.
Oh my God. Okay, next. Orlando in 7th.
Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck Orlando. Is that our rival?
Yes, it is.
All right, cool. They are 7-5-7, so they're also just a game behind. Or they're a game. We've played one more game than them, but we've also drawn one more game than them. Dude, I can't speak right now. I don't know what's going on. I might need you to take the reins in the West, but Montreal is in 8th, 26 points. They're 8-9-2. Only drawing 2 times is wild to be in 8th place.
Yes.
Like 9 losses is crazy.
I'm surprised that a lot of those weren't draws, honestly.
Yeah, well, they have a -7 goal differential, and it's essentially all coming on the road. They're 1-8-2 on the road.
Holy shit, that's horrible.
Yeah, very bad, especially to be 8th in the East.
What the fuck's going on in Montreal?
All right, DC United in 9th. They are 7-8-5. They're shit. And so are the rest of these teams. Charlotte, 24 points. They're 6-8-6. A team that was once the best, New York Red Bulls, in 11th place, 23 points. They're 5-6-8. Brutal. They've only scored 17 goals.
Yeah, they're missing Bradley Wright Phillips, man.
Yeah, but they obviously have a great defense. They have their second least goals allowed in the East.
Yeah.
So I don't know what their issue is. Chicago Fire in 12th. They're 5-6-8. New York City FC, another team that has been good in the past, 4-7-9. Toronto in 14th is 3-7-10. Ooh, both New York City FC and Toronto have not won a game on the road yet. They've both played. They've played 11-10 respectively. And then your 15th place team, honestly, the most exciting team, come like a couple weeks from now, Inter Miami. They average less than a point per match.
Messi
15.
and Busquets have work to do.
Yes, they certainly do, and so does Tata Martinez.
Yes.
But we've seen him in the MLS, and he's done it. So
For sure. He's a champion.
yes, sure is. But how the fuck are you gonna draw 0 games? They're 5-13-0.
Yeah.
What sport are they playing?
That's, I guess, football.
The wrong kind of football.
Yeah. All right. You want me to take it over in the West?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I got it. So somehow, some fucking way, St. Louis in their first season, inaugural season for St. Louis, very exciting things going on, are tied in first with LAFC. They're both at 32 points. St. Louis have 10 wins, 2 draws, 7 losses, and they have scored way, way more than anybody else in the West. Way, way more goals for. And, doing a okay job goals against. It's a little bit high, compared to some of these other teams, but whatever. LAFC, 9 wins, 5 draws, 4 losses. They're looking pretty good too, except, they always look good. And another team that always looks good is the team in third, Seattle Sounders. They're 8 wins, 5 draws, and 7 losses. They just always seem to be up there. Houston Dynamo, I've been hearing a lot about them. Their games look really, really exciting over there in Houston. I would honestly love to go. They're sitting in fourth. They have 8 wins, 3 draws, and 8 losses. Damn, this is kind of brutal. I'm only through 4 teams, Grayson.
Yeah.
San Jose in fifth, the Earthquakes. 7 wins, 6 draws, and 7 losses. And Real Salt Lake right behind them with the same exact record. So kind of interesting there. FC Dallas is going to be 7th place, 7 wins, 5 draws, 7 losses. More goals against than goals for, though. Bummer for FC Austin there. And then Matthew McConaughey United, Matthew McConaughey FC, whatever you want to, call FC Austin, but I'm just going by the only, thing that makes them relevant. 7 wins, 4 draws, and 8 losses for them. Vancouver is in 9th with 6 wins, 7 draws, and 5 losses.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you here with Vancouver real quick because they are one of 4 teams in the West with a positive goal differential.
Yeah.
There are 10 teams in the West have a negative goal differential. But Vancouver has a positive goal differential, and they're in 9th.
It's because FC Cincinnati's over there in the East just killing everybody.
I guess, yeah. But continue.
Very strange. 10th place, Portland. You got 5 wins, 7 draws, and 8 losses. Sporting Kansas City is in 11th behind them. They have 5 wins, 6 draws, and 10 losses. They actually have the most losses out of anybody in the rest of the league, and they're a -7 goal differential.
Shout
so
out
things
Jimmy
going
Conrad.
well.
He used to play there.
Shout out Jimmy Conrad, yeah. Or what's his name, Conrad?
Yeah, Jimmy Conrad.
Okay, I thought it was something else. 12th is Minnesota. Got 5 wins, 6 draws, and 7 losses there. And then LA Galaxy and Colorado round out the bottom. And I'm not going to read off their records because they're very, very, very bad. But the goal difference for them is -13.
Yeah.
So it's been absolutely brutal over there in the Western Conference, literally for everybody.
At least they've gotten some draws, Inter Miami.
Yeah.
But let's talk
man.
top goal scorers in this league. I accidentally closed the tab. Okay, I got it now. The top goal scorers in the MLS, you have Mukhtar. What's his first name?
Haney.
Yes, Haney Mukhtar of Nashville with 13 goals in 18 starts. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Not
13
at all.
goals, 7 assists. Been very good.
Yeah, he has been super solid. I think he's a German international. Yeah, he is. And he has 7 assists as well on top of the 13 goals. So he's just probably the best player this season, honestly.
That's solid. Sorry, I'm pulling it up again. Okay, and then you have Dennis Bouanga of LAFC in second with 11 goals, and then a 3-way tie at 10 with Jesus Ferreira of FC Dallas, Julian Carranza of Philadelphia Union, and Georgios Giacomakis.
Yamakis.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Whatever. He plays for Atlanta United, so he's cool. 10 goals.
Yeah, Giannis Antetokounmpo plays for Atlanta United.
Yes. Who was that? Socrates, former center back of.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
That
plays.
guy.
All right. Luciano Acosta in 6th for FC Cincinnati at 9, tied with Jordan Morris of Seattle Sounders. And then a 5-way tie at 8. Christian Espinoza of San Jose Earthquakes. Christian Benteke, the possibly one of the bigger names, oddly enough, in the MLS, of DC United with 8. Formerly of Crystal Palace, Liverpool, and Aston Villa. Nicholas, I'm not even gonna try that one. Gioacchini.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tarkini.
Plays for St. Louis City SC. Stupidest fucking name ever. 8 goals. And then Lucas Zelarayan and Amine Bassi of Houston Dynamo. They round out the whole. I was gonna say top 10. It's like top 12.
Too many ties.
Yeah, and then your top assisters: Charles Hill of New England Revolution with 9 assists, tied with Thiago Almada, the GOAT.
Yes,
Atlanta
the
United's
GOAT.
Thiago Almada with 9, and Daniel Gazdag of Philadelphia Union, Cucho Hernandez of Columbus Crew with 8, and then a ton of people have 7. And the only one I care about, Hector Herrera, formerly of Porto and Atletico Madrid, Mexican international.
One of my favorite Mexican players of all time, and Haney Mukhtar's even on this list. He's one of those guys at 7 too.
Yep.
Got Brooks Lennon with Atlanta United as well, the fullback in there.
Solid.
Love it. I love it.
Solid. But who are some of the best players in the MLS? Because I genuinely don't know. I think Miles Robinson's up there as a defender.
Yeah, Miles Robinson is going to be good. I mean, we've talked about him a little bit already, but this Haney Mukhtar guy, 13 goals in 20 matches played, not started, and 7 assists. It really doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, very good. I believe he won the MVP last year.
He may have. I don't really remember. If you want to look that up, you can. I'm going to keep going. Yamakis, though, 10 goals in only 15 games played, and that's not even counting what he started. So he's been absolutely brilliant. And then, of course, as you know, to Atlanta United fans, we have to mention, as you said, the GOAT, Thiago Almada. Almada and Yamakis, that pair is just unbelievable. I would say that pair is probably one of the best in the league.
Yeah, whenever I get in the car, it automatically turns on to 92.9 the game. So whenever I'm leaving work and they're still playing, I hear those names a lot.
Yeah. As you should.
Yeah. I believe that Mokhtar did win the Landon Donovan Most Valuable Player Award last year.
Thank you.
Also, one of the best overall players in the MLS, probably Lionel Messi.
Yeah, probably going to be Lionel Messi.
Maybe Sergio Busquets. Those guys will be pretty good.
Yeah, they'll be good.
But let's get into storylines, because I think there is a decent amount of storylines here. Obviously, the big one, Messi, but I want to start here with St. Louis City, who sits atop of the West, tied on points with last year's champion LAFC. Did anybody see this coming? Because when I look at St. Louis City, the only name I recognize is Roman Berkey, who used to play for Dortmund.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. They do have him. He's been, I think, brilliant for them as well since his signing. But I really know of nothing else that this team has going on. Whatever it is, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I know nothing about St. Louis City. I'm gonna be honest, didn't know they existed until today.
Yeah,
I haven't paid attention to the MLS since we won the MLS Cup.
Yeah, but I mean, here we're bringing it back though.
We're trying. It's a valiant effort to bring it back.
It's a valiant effort. Oh man, yeah. I mean, they're first in the West. I have no idea who their players are except for Roman Berkey.
Yeah, but I'm pledging. I'll at least give this a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's fine. We'll just become the biggest Saudi Arabian soccer podcast.
Dude, that'd be so awesome. Could you imagine them like
Oh,
buying us
dude,
out?
that'd be. Oh, dude, we get the live bag. We get the bag from the PIF. Okay, if they do buy us out, can we behead
Yeah.
some journalists?
Yes.
Some guy starts talking shit about all Ittihad. Chop them up.
Boom.
All right, let's
Kidnap.
talk about what people actually care about in the MLS. Lionel Messi.
Yes.
How big is this for the MLS?
Well, not only is he going to enter Miami, or not only is he coming to the MLS, I should say, he's going to be playing in Miami, which is a huge market, especially for like, Hispanics. And I just feel like that will times this impact by like 100,000.
Yeah.
It's going to be incredible, I think.
Yeah, I think that realistically, that was one of the only landing spots for him.
Yeah.
At least, how I see it, when you look at, across the teams in the MLS, that was the spot for a big Hispanic player to land. Otherwise, LAFC, of course, big name, LA Galaxy, same thing. Maybe a team like, Austin FC, maybe just because they're in Texas, but more realistically, FC Dallas would have like a big Hispanic market, as well as maybe like New York City FC or New York Red Bulls, just because they're big brands, as well as, like big Hispanic populations in New York. So,
Yes.
like, I get it, but yeah, Miami is the spot for him to land. David Beckham owns the team, and the MLS is treating that man right.
Yeah. I mean, they've already given him Sergio Busquets, too.
Well, yeah, and Tata Martino, his former manager of Barcelona.
Yes. Yeah. And former MLS champion.
Yes, with Atlanta United.
I mean,
Shout out.
there's a shout out Atlanta United. There is definitely a storm brewing in Inter Miami, but as we already mentioned, boy, do they have some work to do.
Yeah, that
They need to start
storm.
getting some draws up on the board.
That storm looks like it's wrecking them at the moment.
Yeah.
And Tata Martino confirmed in his entry press conference that Messi and Sergio Busquets still aren't coming back yet.
Oh.
At least not yet.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be okay for Messi, going to a bad MLS team because, I mean, he did play for Argentina in 2015 and, 16, so he'll know what it's like to, have to literally put an entire team on his 5'11 shoulders or 5'1 shoulders, however tall he is.
I don't think it's either of those, but yeah, Tata Martino knows what it's like. He coached Messi at Barcelona and at Argentina, so he gets, what he knows exactly what needs to happen for this team to be successful, which is give Messi the ball, and most likely it'll be Busquets dispossess players in the midfield and give Messi the ball.
Exactly. And to add to that, Martino already knows how to win in the MLS, aside
Correct.
from his history with Messi.
Yeah, so he understands. This is honestly the perfect managerial sign.
It is. Yeah.
Because
100%.
he knows the MLS already. He's won the MLS Cup with another team. And you're pairing him with a player who's new to the MLS, which is an entirely different game, honestly. Watching the MLS and watching La Liga or even Ligue 1 is completely different than watching MLS. And even just playing in the MLS in general. Gareth Bale himself said, they don't care about losing over here.
Yeah.
Like that's an entirely different idea of what soccer is played for in the MLS. It's played for money. I'll be honest. That's what the MLS is for. It's a cash grab compared to other soccer leagues. And I think that, Messi, it's not going to take any time for him to get used to it. Because the way that he plays and the way that he manipulates a system is going to be so goddamn easy in the MLS.
100%. I mean, do you think Messi in his entire life has ever, gone out of, the streets of his hometown and, played, pickup games with the locals? That's exactly what this is going to be like for him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is going to, did you see the video of Victor Osimhen?
Yeah.
It's going to be like that on a week-to-week basis for Lionel Messi.
just a human highlight reel.
Yeah, he is going to expose just about every single player that he walks up to.
Dude, did you see him not too long ago? That clip of him dribbling. It was the fan filmed one versus Australia or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Incredible.
yeah.
Incredible. He's surrounded by like 5 players with one literally trying to foul him. Can't even foul him.
Yeah,
He just stayed on his feet.
I'm going to be honest. No matter when Messi gets into the MLS, let's say he starts mid-July. Let's say that's when he starts. How long does the MLS season go after that? Like, when does it typically end?
Shit.
Like
Is it
November, October,
October?
November?
I thought it was October.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is October because it ends like right before the MLB, like the World Series ends.
Yes.
Because Philadelphia Union lost like the week before the Phillies lost. It's the only reason I know that. But yeah, so like from mid-July to October, Lionel Messi will be the leading goal scorer in the MLS
I agree.
for the whole season.
Do you think he'll be top assister too?
I don't know. Who's he going to assist?
Himself.
Sergio Busquets.
Yeah. They only pass to themselves.
Yeah, they literally just leave everybody else out. They could probably field those 2 players and win.
They probably could.
Them 2 and a keeper.
Yeah. Wow. But
But
yeah, it's gonna be ridiculous. I'm very excited.
I do have one more question, kind of relating to this. Is do you think that the MLS is done competing in the transfer market this summer after already acquiring Messi and Sergio Busquets?
Uh, yeah, probably.
And that sucks.
It does. Yeah, 2 players that went to the same team. That's
Yeah.
it.
Like I want to see it spread out.
And I'm sure it will over time, but for right now, I think this is just kind of what we're gonna have to settle for.
Yeah. So another question: how long until Claudio Bravo is the keeper for Inter Miami?
Ooh,
That seems like the perfect one.
yeah, that is a good one. I would give it at most a season.
Okay. Because
Yep.
what he's where is
I want
he
to say
even
he's actually
playing?
very old.
Oh yeah, he is. He's 40, but playing for Real Betis. Um, yeah, I definitely could see that one happening.
Could too.
But yeah, it sucks. I feel like the MLS should be linked to a few more players at least internationally that are a big deal.
I do too, but I haven't really heard anything else except for Busquets and Messi.
Yeah, like we heard rumors of like Jordi Alba, um, and some
Di
others.
Maria.
Yeah, Di Maria, but Di Maria is going back to Benfica. Um, I think Jordi Alba might just retire, honestly. But
Yeah, I
if
think he could
Miami
stay.
does pick him up, we're just running back Barcelona. Soon enough, they'll have Andres Iniesta.
Exactly.
I don't even know if an MLS team could compete with what Vissel Kobe is probably paying him.
Oh, 100% not, dude.
Yeah.
No way.
Isn't he? Is he like a player manager there? Or is he
I
just
haven't
playing?
I haven't heard about Iniesta in a while. I don't even know if he is still a player over there.
Okay. I thought he was pulling like a
Iniesta.
rude Hullet on us.
Tell a Rude Hullet did.
Yeah, he did it for like multiple years.
Wow.
That was a popular thing in like the late 90s, early 2000s in soccer, was for an old player on your team to be a player manager.
Wow. Um, this okay. So as of May 25th, announced that he's leaving Vissel Kobe by mutual consent, and he's actually looking to play somewhere else.
Into
39 years old.
Miami.
It's really happening, isn't it, Grayson?
It probably is gonna. Or he should go play in Orlando.
Yeah, somewhere close where you
Yeah.
know he can live near Messi.
Yeah, they'll just live in between each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Dude, this is so bad. I don't know what the MLS is gonna become.
Yeah. I don't know either. I think you're right. It's gonna a lot of like the player development. It's already so expensive as it is in America compared to like in Europe. And like on top of that, they're just luring away guys that are, towards the end now. And I think you're actually kind of right. Is the MLS is going to become more like a, China or Saudi Arabia than what we want it to become,
Yeah.
probably.
Look,
I take my opinion away from a couple episodes ago, and I'm actually going to have to probably agree with you now.
I'm glad. Glad I've turned you over because I feel like when it comes to American sports fans are so used to being the best league for that sport.
Yeah.
NBA, like Victor Wembanyama wants to come to the NBA and now is a part of the NBA. We see so many international players come into the NBA. The NFL, nobody else is good at football. American
Yeah.
football. The MLB, yes. Japan, great at baseball. All of the like Central American and South American leagues, great at baseball, as well as Korea and China. But the MLB is the place to be, 100%.
Yep.
And NHL even. Like it's crazy how many leagues we have where we're the best in the world. And
Yes.
so I think that the MLS will never get there. Of course, that's so obvious. The MLS will never be that.
Yeah.
But they could at least become a contender.
Yeah.
The whole issue is the format. I think
Yeah.
having a playoff, playing a majority of your schedule during the off season. Like you lined this league up with absolutely nothing else because every other one is lined up so that they can send players to the World Cup or international competitions. Meanwhile, the whole the CONCACAF Gold Cup is playing right now. And it's the
just ass
middle of the
backwards.
MLS season.
uh,
It makes zero sense.
yeah.
I think that if the MLS wants any actual opportunity of being a good soccer league, they have to get rid of the playoff. And they have to change when this season happens.
I think more so when the season happens because us Americans, we love the idea of playoffs, man. Like
I don't
it's
in
just such,
soccer.
it's very deeply rooted.
Yes.
And I don't hate it in soccer. I think you're right. But I definitely agree with you on the scheduling though. That is the poorest thing. That is, it holds the MLS back so much.
Yeah, well, like the best thing about like Europe is the summer transfer window. What we're in right now is one of the best parts of European soccer is that nobody is playing.
Yeah.
And they also get the opportunity to go represent their national team because the World Cup happens in the summer and the Euros and the Copa America. Everything international happens in the summer, other than, obviously the scheduled international breaks. But there's plenty of times where, like, with Atlanta United, I remember that, like, Josef Martinez representing Venezuela would just not be with the team for a couple of weeks, and it would fuck us over.
It's frustrating, man.
Yeah, and that's what hurts the MLS. Because let's say Inter Miami is on a run, and this is saying that Lionel Messi is still playing for Argentina, but let's say Lionel Messi is on a run, and Inter Miami is doing really well, and then he gets selected to the national team, and he leaves, and then for let's say 2-3 games, they lose all three.
Yep.
Like that's something that could actually happen.
It is.
So, I don't know. I feel like they've got it all ass backwards.
Yeah, me too. It's so poor. And then like the idea of like, I remember when Brad Guzan signed for Middlesbrough, I think, to Atlanta United. We had to wait like months for him because of the transfer window, and he was still playing games with them with the other team.
Yeah.
Like, what are the logistics if he were to get hurt? And it would have been like career, or not like not career, but let's say like season ending. Can Atlanta United pull out of that transfer?
I don't know.
It's just so ass backwards, man.
Yeah, it makes no sense. You know, throughout this talking about the MLS, I'm realizing how much I hate
Man.
it. We're giving it a fair chance.
But wasn't it so cool when Atlanta United was good though?
Yeah, dude, it was. I didn't care
Yeah,
about any other teams though. That's the thing. Like the
yeah,
Braves are great. I care about the rest of the MLB. And like when the
yes.
Falcons were good, I cared about the rest of the NFL. Atlanta United was good. That's all I cared about. Even like the
Yeah,
Hawks. When the Hawks are good, I watch the rest of the NBA.
yeah, yeah,
So I don't know. I don't like how the MLS works, and therefore I don't watch it that much.
yeah. It really, as much as it is growing, it is very inferior, and it'll stay inferior unless there are changes made.
Yeah, like they're like literally. Let's see. There's probably a game on the coming days. Um,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Okay, yeah, Columbus versus no. Okay, let's pick. Okay, a good matchup. Literally the top of the table in the East. Cincinnati versus New England on July 1st. It's Saturday night, 7:30. I'll probably be watching the Braves. Actually, I'll be at work, but I would be watching the Braves. I would rather watch the Rockies versus the Athletics.
Ooh,
Like
that's not saying a lot.
if I see Cincinnati versus New England, and I'm like, oh, that's on TV, and then the next thing is fucking Royals versus Nationals. I'm watching Royals versus Nationals.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so we have the Gold Cup going on right now. Okay,
Yep.
um, let's say that the same night you have wait, why is Qatar in the Gold Cup?
Are they in the Gold Cup?
They play Honduras today.
Wow, I didn't know that.
That's weird. But I would rather watch Martinique versus Panama than Cincinnati versus New England,
Yeah, I would too.
because I'm sure it's good soccer.
Yeah,
That's all. That's all.
you're exactly right.
All right. Well, we're over 3 hours, so let's do this top three, bottom three.
Hey, that's all right. I'm excited for this.
This has been a long one,
Yes.
but let's go top three, bottom three. Luke, you're first on the top. Oh, red things. We're doing red things. Anything
Yep.
that's red. Anything. Luke,
No.
what? Literally
Man.
anything.
I know. It
Okay.
can be literally anything. I have a couple things here on my draft board. You know what, Grayson? I'm gonna go with an obvious one. Give me Ellie De La Cruz.
Love it.
He's
Love
probably the
it.
best red thing. He is the best red thing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, he's been fucking fantastic. I literally cannot get enough of this guy. I hope he does so well. I would seriously hate to see him get hurt this season, or just finish off this season amazing and then just we never hear about him again. I really hope we see him for a long time.
Yeah. Since you took something that has to do with the Cincinnati Reds, I'm not gonna take what I was going to take, which was gonna be the big red machine. But I'm gonna take red solo cups.
Oh man,
Red solo cup. Fire. I'm not definitely not drinking beer out of them. I'm underage. But
why would you? You can't even get
versatile.
beer.
Versatile.
Very
You could put
versatile.
you could put goldfish in there. I've
You can put
certainly
your
done that.
fucking toothbrushes in there.
Yeah, toothbrush. You could drink water, milk, any substance.
Yep.
I feel like I've used different bug traps. Make some bug traps
Oh
out of a red
yes.
solo cup.
Yep.
Goated.
Dang, that's a good pick. Um, Give me red velvet cake. Um,
Mm.
Damn, dude, red velvet cake. It's just I feel like a lot of the velvet cakes are very underrated among society, and I'm here to rate them.
I
They're fantastic.
I think they're properly rated as decent because I
Oh, dude.
like red velvet when it's done right. A lot of people make it and it gets very dry. I don't know what the problem is with red velvet cake, but it's always dry.
Yeah, it can be.
I need a nice moist cake. Okay, my next pick, I'm taking the Marvel logo.
Wow.
I love the Marvel logo, but also you get like that intro thing where they show all like the things, like all the pictures from all the movies, and then it all becomes the Marvel logo at the beginning of the movies and stuff. It looks so good.
Okay.
Love
I
it.
like that. Um, I'm gonna take for my last pick my Milwaukee Cup beside me. Yes, I just said Milwaukee Cup. Now, Milwaukee is obviously like it's like a tool brand. You know, they make weed eaters, drills, hammers, you know, shit like that. But for White Christmas last year, my cousin got me a cup, like a Yeti cup style, and it's pretty fucking awesome. And I just wanted to let y'all know that it is my number 3 top red thing. I love this cup.
That was number 2.
Really?
Or wait.
No, because I had Ellie De La Cruz on
Yeah,
the
that's right.
cake.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was disregarding that shit. All right, I'm really stuck here. I've got a couple of good ones. I'm gonna take Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, the red logo,
Oh,
fantastic
perfect.
stuff. You get the red box. Particularly when I think of the red box, I think hash browns when I get them for
Not
breakfast.
tenders?
I don't typically order tenders.
Okay.
I'm more of a nuggets or sandwich guy. And then again, you get the red bag with the spicy chicken sandwich, so that too.
I
Um,
forgot about that.
yeah, and spicy chicken deluxe is what I typically get, and that has the red box. So
Okay.
goated shit out of Chick
Nice.
Fil A.
That was solid.
Yeah, honorable mentions. I got a few raspberries. Raspberries, goated fruit,
That's solid.
fantastic. Let's see what else? Angry Birds, the main Angry Bird,
Oh yeah.
good one.
Red Kool-Aid.
Yeah, red Kool Aid's good. The Kool Aid Man in general,
Yeah,
good
he's
pick.
red.
The big red wiffle ball bat,
Oh, yeah.
those were sick.
When I think of wiffle ball, I think of the yellow, skinny one.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah, dude, we always had the big like the giant barrel red wiffle ball bat.
I like
But
it.
we also had, I think it was either blue or yellow, can't remember. And we duct taped the barrel,
Oh, wow.
get some extra spin on it. All right, bottom 3. I've got the first pick. I'm going to go
Don't say it.
the red water that comes out of the ketchup bottle.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Yeah.
What even is that, bro?
I think it's just like the water that comes out of the ketchup before like it get, because it like separates when it's sitting
Yeah,
there, and that's what comes out, and it's fucking gross. I already don't really like ketchup. Like I'll put it on the fries and stuff, but that's really it.
yeah.
But I think that water is probably what makes me not like ketchup.
Yeah, I'm not a big ketchup fan either. That's not really why, but that's a very, very good point. Let's see. I got some good ones here. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one. The red button. You should never press the red button, but it happens all
Facts.
the time. Just don't do it. It's red. Come on.
Yeah. Obviously red means stop.
It does.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with a
I
red
wasn't sure.
pen. Red pens, because that's what the teachers always graded with, was red pen.
Yeah,
That always scared me.
but I mean, hey, you got to revise your papers, man, with the red pen.
Nah,
What's your favorite ink color?
blue. Blue or
I'm
black.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm more of a black kind of guy.
Yeah.
Um, right. I'm gonna go an easy one here. I'm actually gonna throw two in here because, well, it's whatever. Um, Liverpool and Arsenal. Fuck them.
Yeah. Fuck 'em.
They're both red.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take Supreme box logo parody shirts.
What?
So like like the Supreme box logo, like the red square like rectangle that says Supreme on the t-shirt.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
the ones that are jokes. Yeah, the one that I saw like as an example is the one that says suck me instead of Supreme. And like
That's pretty
everybody
bad.
was making these. Like when that was like a big trend,
Yep.
like every single person was making these, and I saw them all over the place and they suck.
That's a good one, man. It's one thing to have like a knockoff of something that's designer it's hard to tell.
Yeah,
It's another thing to get a cringy ass knockoff of something.
yeah,
And no, that was a very good pick right
yeah.
there.
A close second when it comes to bad T-shirts is straight outta and then something.
Yep.
Those suck.
Yep, those were very popular for a while when that Straight Outta Compton movie was coming
Yeah,
out about NWA. Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
But
Whew.
you have the final pick here.
So I really this one should have been my first pick because out of importance, I guess. But the red I see when I remember that Carlos Rodon has yet to pitch and makes $27 million a year. That red is a very good red. Brutal.
Okay. All right. Honorable mentions. The Braves red being that color code CE1134. It's what we use for second and short.
Perfect.
Great red.
Perfect.
That was for the top. My bad. But
Oh, no, you're good.
I forgot about that one until now. But for the bottom, a rash.
Oh, red rash.
Yeah, it
Pimples.
sucks. Yeah, acne. Yep, that one's bad. Netflix. Now that they got rid of password sharing,
Oh, fuck them.
really fucked me.
Yeah, fucked me too.
The
Oh,
live
man.
action Clifford the Big Red Dog. Shit was ass.
I didn't even know they ever did a live action movie of
I
him.
think it like just came out. I only watched like the trailer and stuff, but it looks so bad.
Clifford the Oh my god, he looks horrifying.
Yeah, dude, he looks like a monster.
Oh my god. That's terrifying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's weird.
Dang. Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah. Any honorable mentions for you on the bottom?
Nah, man. I mean, I had mine.
All right.
My 3 were my 3.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. And if you listen to this whole episode, you are a trooper, a real fan. Like 3 hours and 20 minutes. Wild. I commend your efforts to listen
Me
to this,
too.
especially the MLS portion.
We talked about Messi for probably 3 hours.
Yeah, essentially. That's all there is to talk about.
Yeah,
with the MLS. But you that's listening, I'm going to address you once again specifically. If you are still listening to this episode and you're not following us on all of our social media platforms, what are you thinking? Come on, guys. But also,
That's pretty stupid.
make sure that you're giving us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Make sure you're following on there as well. Make sure you join that Second and Short subreddit. You can find the r/ in the description of the podcast, whether you're listening on YouTube or on any of your podcast platforms. And if you are listening on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, everything like that. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for us. Peace.
Peace.